Welcome to Franchise Killer, podcast where we talk about movie franchises or wannabe franchises, review them film by film, and see where things went wrong. Or right.
Yahoo!
Though that is not what we're determining today. The summer box office will determine which franchises fail. And we are here for the second annual summer movie wager plus spring, most of spring.
It rolls right off the tongue, buddy.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, this is based off another podcast that does this, and I presume other podcasts other than them do it as well, that they carried forth from that. But I got this from the Filmcast, and they do an annual summer movie wager. So I have ripped off from them, taken their idea, and made some adjustments, just because it is a lot of fun. Last year, I think we had a lot of fun.
It was a blast
doing that.
Go listen to that one.
So we're all here with prepped lists, and let's just get right into the rules. First, I need to announce this. I'm Reese. Across from me, we have...
It's me, a David.
To his left...
Irina.
And to my right...
Noah.
And to bring back the old classic, way out yonder, we have...
AJ.
And let's get into the rules of the summer plus most of spring movie wager.
Can that be the official title?
It is.
Plus spring.
Well, I do the parentheses plus spring, although it's not all of spring
And a little bit of fall.
But the reason
For 2023.
yeah, the reason I did this last year was because the crop of movies wasn't as big, so I wanted to build it out even more so we'd have just more movies in the mix. But I've decided to keep that going because I kind of like more movies. Like, it makes it more of a competition. There's less obvious number ones, twos, threes, especially this year.
Yeah, which is great.
This one's
going
gonna
to
be hard.
Last year, I'm not going to say it was easy, but there were some obvious ones like, oh, that has a shot. Even though we were wrong about that, even Top Gun.
Well, I want to
got
say
number one.
most of us had at least 9 out of 10 correct, I would say. Close to, anyway.
Not
Yeah,
me.
roughly.
Last year.
Roughly.
Yeah, I didn't.
Who had 9 out of 10?
Like, the right movies were on the top 10.
Yeah, not in order.
Okay.
I
I was going to say.
I didn't get any correct in order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this year we're starting with in April 4th, which is a date that has already passed. That was Super Mario. However, all of our lists were locked in before that movie had its release yesterday. So you can trust us or not, but we did not factor in any box office numbers for Super Mario Brothers. And going forward, if there's a wrinkle in this game, there's no changing or adjusting that.
And even if we did look at those box office numbers, it doesn't even matter because that's only one out of like a bajillion.
Well, also, it's just one day. Like,
Yeah,
only one day
exactly.
of that movie has been logged. So this episode will probably come out next week alongside the next episode in the mini-series. I'll try to maybe space them out by 3 or 4 days. So just try to trust that we did not look at the Super Mario numbers and we did have those lists locked in ahead of time. Rules.
Wait, there's a Mario movie?
That sounds like you last year with Lightyear. Except
Yeah.
you didn't actually know what that movie was. All right. So each of us has composed or put together a top 10 list in order of how we think the movies this spring and summer are going to play out at the domestic box office. We will go from 10 to 1, just round table. Each person will give their 10 spot, 9 spot, and so on. What I am going to add to this is if you're the first person to bring up that movie, give a brief. This doesn't have to be like articulate or anything, but give a brief reason why you feel that way, and we can break out into a bit of a conversation about pros and cons about having that choice or how we think that choice is going to play out.
I like that. I think that's going to be fun.
Cool. We also have 3 dark horse selections. Dark horses are movies that we have a question mark over, where this one could easily break into the top 10, but we don't have the confidence in that one as much as we do the ones in the 10 list. Clear on dark horses.
Clear on.
In other words, runner-ups.
I totally forgot to inform the audience of our point system. So I may cut this in before, but I want to get it out there just so we have it. And I may leave it in if I'm lazy. But we said, oh, you get all these points for these perks and the dark horses. And then I didn't even get to how many points we get for our top 10. So I adjusted this slightly since last year we had a few ties. So now it is going to be more difficult to have ties. So their points in the top 10 are a little higher. For the dead on first spot, we have 10 points.
Whoa.
Yeah, so if you nail the number 1 and dead right, you get those 10 points. Same goes for the number 10 spot. If you nail the 10th spot, you get 10 points. So those are the bookends to the rest of the points. If you get a dead on second to 9th spot guess, you get 5 points. Which these are all increases from last year. If you get if you're 1 spot off, you get 3 points. So if your choice is right next to the spot that it should have been, 3 points. If your choice is on the list anywhere at all, you get 2 points. And dark horses, of course, 1 point. So that seem fair, guys?
I like it.
All good?
No.
No. Another wrinkle I am adding to the game is perks.
Wait, what?
Yep. Each person is going to get a perk in this game. This perk will only affect your game and no one else's. And it will only benefit or detract 1 point from your final score. Except for one of the perks, which is a little riskier.
Sounds more like a demerit.
I'll
way-
take on the risk.
I'm going to read out the perks first.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yar.
The first perk is the unbearable weight of a bad choice.
Oh.
And this perk comes into play at the end of this recording. And the perk allows you to swap one of your top 10 with one of your dark horses. Since we're locked in now, no changes, this is just giving you a slight benefit. It's just going to be like if you feel the conversation for a movie was not what you anticipated, but you happen to put it in your dark horse and you feel better about it or worse about one of the ones in your top 10, you can swap.
I like that.
Next one is the blood sacrifice. This one is you cut one of your dark horses to power up one of the others by 1 point.
Ooh.
Or, and this is the risk versus reward, or cut 2 of the power up, cut 2 of the choices and power up your one dark horse by 2 points.
Oh,
So you make a dark horse worth 3 points if it can get on.
that would be big.
But dark horses are risky.
Yep.
Next one, Barbies or bombshells.
It's funny. I compared Barbie and Oppenheimer for some reason.
Yeah, Barbie and Oppenheimer release on the same weekend. If you predict correctly which one wins, you receive 1 extra point.
That's a tough one.
Nah.
The next one is I Need a Hero. If you predict the number 1 slot correctly, you receive an additional point. Which, normally this would be an easy call, but I do not think it is easy this year.
Yeah.
All of these are risky. And the final one is 4 Horsemen. So you get an additional dark horse.
Oh.
Cool. Okay.
Forgot Juggernog.
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut, Call of Duty joke. Sorry.
Okay, so the way
perks, it's
the way we're going to divvy these up, since I won last year, I am automatically going to get the last perk.
Oh, I like that.
Humble brag.
Yep.
Since I won last year.
And since there is one perk on here that could either earn you 0 points or a few more, I feel like that's fair. All the other perks are like it's like a 1 point differential.
Okay.
So here's how we're going to determine this. I'm going to pick a random movie, and we're going to do the box office game.
Oh, man.
And the one that gets it closest gets to choose the first perk. And then we'll go down the line closer. The movie I'm choosing to be relevant with the summer, but one that we might not have looked up in our research, we're going to guess the worldwide box office, uninflated, for Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
And we have a budget, right?
I'll give you a budget, but remember it is uninflated.
Uninflated. All right.
I'm terrible at this game.
You've won. You can
Yeah,
do it.
but it's only because if you throw a dart in the dark, at some point it's going to hit what you want.
So a blind squirrel finds it every so often.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. The budget is 28 million
Wow.
in back then dollars. And the year is 1984. So, Irina. No, I'll let you go second. I'll let you go second. Let's start with David.
150.
150. AJ.
I'm just sitting here smiling to myself because big Indy fan.
Yep. Do you know this
300.
one? Okay, 300. Irina.
320.
Noah.
301.
Oh, you're being mean.
No, I'll go up. I'll go 310.
Okay, Irina, you were closest. Weirdly,
Oh, yay.
it was 333 million. So the order of picking perks will go Irina, Noah, AJ, David, and then me.
Lovely.
Okay.
Irina,
It was
which-
record breaking.
Sorry, what?
It was record breaking.
I didn't know that. I was like,
It
oh,
did really well. But I could see why you could be confused if you didn't look up into box office. Like, oh, Temple of Doom, that's the one people liked a little less of the
Yeah,
three.
well, that's what I was thinking. Plus, I gave it higher. I was like, okay, if it's 30, then quintuple it, then that'll put me around 150-ish.
Yeah.
So
So Irina's looking at the perks. I'll read them off to you again, AJ, just so we're on the same page, or you're
so-
refreshed.
Basically, each person gets to pick one perk.
Yeah, one perk,
Is
and
that how
one,
this is?
once that one's gone, you can't pick it.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
So Irina has first dibs, and then so on and so forth.
And these aren't gonna like serious. The reason I'm doing this is it adds a little bit of fun, but they're not going to affect your overall score in a major way, unless for some reason you don't think your number one's gonna be on the top 10 after the end of this conversation. You swap it with something that you
That
put in your
Dark
Yeah.
Horse one could do some damage if you get it like spot on, though.
It's risky.
I'm gonna go for the blood sacrifice.
Ah, that's a good one.
Okay.
Dang, how do you remember?
Here, give that.
The blood sacrifice is because you sacrifice
This
one
one
for
is
double
the-
points on another.
Yeah.
It's like a blood sacrifice.
And you will do that before we do our top 10. So you will have to announce the two that you're letting
Right.
go before we have our conversations. Or the one that you're letting go.
Yeah. So wait.
If you let go one, you get to power up one of the two to 2 points if it makes it into the top 10
So wait. This is when we're going over the.
before we start on 10.
Okay.
Can I do an announcement for everyone's picks?
Sure.
Blood sacrifice.
Sure. I like it.
I'm going to pick the Four Horsemen.
The Four Horsemen.
And remind us.
The Four Horsemen is you get an additional dark horse.
And you will also be adding that before we get into our 10. So quickly review the
I have
other
my
choices.
pick.
Okay, you do.
Yeah.
All right. David.
AJ.
Oh, AJ. Sorry. I'll give you the. Let me give you the
I can read them out. to
perks
them.
again. Okay.
Oh.
So the three that we have left, the unbearable weight of a bad choice, which is where you swap one of your top 10s with one of your dark horses.
And that happens at the end of the game.
Barbies or bombshells. So Barbie and Oppenheimer released the same weekend. If you can predict correctly which one wins, you receive an extra point. And I Need a Hero. If you predict the number one slot correctly, you receive an additional point.
Let's do Barbies and bombshells.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good one to pick.
All right. And you will also pick your winner before we get into the 10.
Okay.
And David?
This sucks.
I'm sorry.
You know, I don't think I'm going to get the number one correct. So I am going to go with unbearable weight of a bad choice.
Okay, because that was a problem for years last year with Northman. And with Irina's, I think, with Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which is why I called it that. Because those were in y'all's top 10s, and they didn't
Right.
even make it
Yeah.
close.
I don't remember that being in the summer list
Losers.
last year.
It was.
The unbearable weight of massive talent.
It was.
That was
Yeah.
last summer?
Yeah.
Yep. What? Yep.
Isn't that weird?
That's so weird. All right, Reese,
All
well,
right.
that leaves you with
I Need a Hero?
I Need a Hero.
All right. Cool.
That was a really good toss.
Awesome. All right, that's laid out right let's go with AJ first, or actually, since Noah, you've had the most time. Tell us what you are adding to your
Barbie.
Dark Horse list. Barbie. Okay.
He was
Let me
excited.
add a.
Yeah.
Wait, does that mean since he says it first, he gets to say, or is that only for the top 10?
It's my dark horse.
Arena, which one or two are you going to cut? And which one are you powering up?
Hang on.
Of her dark horses or of just everything?
She gets to either cut one or two, and if she cuts two of her dark horses, which makes them ineligible for gaining any points, she can power up her single dark horse left to 3 points if it makes it into the top 10.
Neato.
If you're ready, Irina's going over it. If you have your selection, I can take your answer.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Oppenheimer over Barbie.
Yes.
I think it's going to make a Killian.
Yeah, no. No, I feel
that's a
like
double joke.
I feel like Oppenheimer is the good choice there because it's Christopher Nolan.
And kill Ian Murphy?
And
We'll
Cillian
have
Murphy.
that We'll have that discussion when we get to it.
I mean, I know Margot Robbie's a big.
Well, there's a lot of famous people in Barbie.
Well, yeah, but you know.
It's a dark horse.
All right, Irina,
Exactly.
what do you got?
Hang on.
She's considering her options, weighing them carefully.
So when you say power up one
You give the
of the
points.
others, it means that if there's one that I'm certain about, it is worth more.
Yeah, so if there's a dark horse you feel pretty confident has a good shot at making it into the top 10, you would get rid of the other
lesser one?
the lesser one, or the lesser ones if you want to take even more of a risk. But if those come up in the top 10, the ones that you killed, you get 0 points for those.
Okay.
They're out, essentially.
This is difficult. Like, all of them would be difficult for me.
Go with
but-
your- just
because
go with
I
your
don't
gut.
feel confident about any of these.
None of us do.
I'm going to... Okay, kill Haunted Mansion and...
Mary.
Huh?
Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ranking.
we won't go over to the third one because that's not appropriate. And bump up. You know what? I'm gonna do Renfield.
Hey,
Bump up
nice.
Renfield.
Renfield extra.
Yeah, that one's
You're just killing one though and bumping it up to 2 points.
Yeah.
Okay. And all right, we'll figure out what that other dark horse is later in the game. Are y'all ready to get into it? And how do we feel about doing these perks?
I like
Good?
it. Also,
good.
I think it's fun.
with mine, though, mine is later, right?
Yes. That the benefit of yours is you get after we.
I was going to say, if
break-
I had to pick now, I'd be like, well, that's not good.
exactly.
I've already made
These
my
are
choices.
already your choices. Yeah, this is influenced by conversation.
Okay, good. Cool.
All right, ready to get into it with our tens?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, let me pull mine up here. Everyone get your lists up on the handy dandy 500 Days of Wager.
And we're not starting with dark horses.
Oh, we can start with dark
I
horses.
think
if
dark
y'all
horses would be good.
Want?
I guess
Yeah.
I can reveal my other ones since I already basically mentioned the ones I had done.
Yeah. So Irina, what was the one you killed, and what are the ones you're keeping?
So I killed Haunted Mansion just because I was on the fence about that one to begin with. It feels like I want to see it. I think it looks like fun, but I could see it being something that maybe is a blip and then sort of forgotten.
Yeah.
You know, with the wave of other films coming
Very
in.
much like a Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, exactly. But I think this one will be better than Jungle Cruise, in my opinion.
It looks better.
It looks better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what were the other ones?
Then I had mentioned Renfield, which
Oh, yeah.
for me is kind of a wild card because I don't know, it looks different. It looks like it could be something that maybe will hit, and you never know with Nick Cage. Like it either goes one way or another.
So again, Irina putting money on the Cage.
yeah, I figured after Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, there's a bit of a online buzz over that, so maybe they'll come for him being Dracula.
It's
People just love Nicolas Cage.
They do.
and it's
They
getting
just love
pretty
History
decent.
of swear words. Popular too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting pretty decent word of mouth and reviews as well.
I just don't see it being huge, though.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't see it making top list.
Yeah. And was there one other?
Then the other one, I threw in Transformers because it's going to be like a family movie. All the kids always want to see Transformers.
Smart move.
And
Smart move.
I
yeah.
can't say.
You think it's going to be big?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be huge.
So I threw that in because it just felt wrong not putting Transformers somewhere, even though I don't care about Transformers.
Yeah.
Yeah, having to differentiate between what you like and what you think will succeed. We've
Yeah.
had that trouble
Yeah.
in the past.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Noah, what about your dark horses?
My dark horses are The Little Mermaid, Blue Beetle, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Barbie.
You only get...
Well, he had the fourth because
I-
Yeah,
yeah.
Four Horsemen.
That's right. You're right. You're
You're
right.
paying attention.
You're right. I wasn't. But I like your dark horse list.
I am surprised you sunk Little Mermaid to the depths.
I agree with that.
Well, it's because I don't know how much faith is there for a lot of people.
I know what you mean.
And,
Well,
on,
live
it's
action
quite
tend
true.
to be pretty good,
and
though.
it's more speaking about how huge all these other movies are going to be. In my
What
opinion.
weekend is it? What is it releasing with? I guess
I don't know off the top of
that
my
would
head.
that would make a big
I
difference.
did absolutely no research.
You hurt my feelings about my father, Kandahar and the Machine, May 26th.
So no
Oh,
competition,
that's-
really.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, maybe my
well,
choice is
maybe
bad.
I should
Guess
go next.
who's going to
then.
the theaters and what they're gonna watch?
Hey,
But well, you got a point there
Yeah,
at least.
yeah.
Probably. David.
well,
Actually, it's AJ next. I'm
Oh.
doing it in the
Oh,
order.
that's
of,
right, that's right.
How the box office. AJ, what are your dark horses?
All right, so going from the bottom up, I have Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. Jake Gyllenhaal looks good. I'm interested in it. I don't know how much, crowd buzz it's going to get, but it looks interesting. I have The Flash way down here.
Wow, really?
I don't know how to read DC right
Yeah,
now, especially with all the controversy drama about what's his
Exactly.
name.
Ezra Miller.
People are just over DC in general,
And
I
with
think.
Shazam 2 straight up bombing.
And Black Adam, yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, I mean some of the trailers, the action looked interesting, but also it's
Yeah.
kind of another time warp multiverse thing that has already been done quite a bit, and it's DC. People have lost their faith in,
Yeah.
aside from Matt Reeves, the Batman, that kind of thing, and Joker. So yeah, I think it'll still get people know that, or there's name recognition to the Flashpoint storyline, so that might bring some people back in, but. I don't know. There's a lot of baggage to it.
Yeah.
And I also have The Little Mermaid down here.
Whoa.
Interesting. Two ones that could
Don't-
go
Just like me.
could be heavy hitters,
Yeah.
but could also not.
Part of it is, I don't feel like I don't know. I feel like a live action Disney doesn't fit into the mix of like everything else this summer, and there's a lot going on. So
And,
I think it'll
Disney's
get
been having
the-
a hard time of things lately too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll get the people come in just because it's The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
And that kind of sparked the Disney Renaissance and the nostalgia factor. But I don't know, the trailer didn't do much for me, so that's just me personal.
All right, David, your dark horses.
Well, Bert, my man, also known as the Machine, is my number 13 pick.
I'm actually very interested in that movie.
Yeah, that's kind of a boomer bust in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's why it's my very last spot in this list.
What is that?
No,
Well,
do you
was it
rem-
Bert Kreischer?
Kreischer.
Do you remember his story about being in Russia as a student?
Oh.
Yeah.
He was like one of the biggest comedians in like 2013 or 14 or whatever it was because of that story, and they're basing this movie off of that. And it
Mark
looks,
Hamill is in it as
it
his
looks
dad.
good.
Yeah.
But also it is giving me Hangover vibes, and Hangover did very well in the box office. So I'm like, maybe if it somehow makes that play and it turns out to be better than people think, word of mouth.
That is a bold,
It's
spicy
I
prediction.
know.
Yeah.
I knew it. I swapped it with The Flash, to be honest.
Is this one of those ones like you're
You don't
hoping
even
to
have-
Nope, screw The Flash.
you're hoping the sheer goodwill pushes it into
Yeah, I swapped it with The Flash, which
David.
I think The Flash will do well.
Yeah.
But also, similar to what you did last year with one of your movies, purely because of Ezra Miller, I say screw the movie. It's not on the list. And I think that the only reason people will see that movie is because of Michael Keaton. I think that's the only reason.
And George Clooney.
That is
And George Clooney.
Yeah, that's what like. Well, I'm just.
But if it's not good, and you also have people who are really not happy with Ezra Miller, that might still factor. Like you don't know.
Here, I'll just
Wait.
wait till we do.
Yeah,
that.
We'll
to
get
it.
there.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us have the Flash on our list.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yep.
It started at like number 5 on my list and it kept going until it got kicked out. Number 12, Elemental, which look, I did this last year with the other Pixar movie.
Lightyear.
I just don't feel it. Not feeling it.
Elemental's making me mad. It's just Zootopia, but with elements.
Yeah.
Mixed with Inside Out and all
Yeah.
that.
But those were good movies that did well. So who knows?
It has unique animation.
It does. So
care.
so it's a tough one. I
don't care.
I have that at 12, and then my last one in the list, Dark Horse, is Chevalier. I think that one could do big numbers. It looks good, and if it starts early enough, I think I can get the buzz.
All right.
So
You just wanted to say that word, that name.
Chevalier. I can pronounce it right.
Chevalier.
Picking up the, I don't know, maybe drafting off of Hamilton
Yeah.
vibes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some bold picks there, David.
Thank you.
He's always been bold with his picks.
My dark horses, I have the Haunted Mansion. I think there's a chance that this one could break out. Like Jungle Cruise, which I would put on an equal level of noteworthiness, or like in
So Disney rides turned into movies.
yeah.
Yeah.
That one did, I want to say 120 million domestically, and that was in like pandemic times. I'm thinking
Right.
if Haunted Mansion has the same visibility as that one, it could potentially do more.
But will parents take
I
their
think-
kids to see Halloween movies not in
Yeah.
Halloween time?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
would.
It's PG rated, yeah.
The thing that I think tipped it for me was the fact that it is leaning on the spookier side, and I don't know how many parents are going to be taking their kids to that, or the fact that Jungle Cruise had The Rock, which is already a staple in a lot of children's minds, as oh yeah, I love that guy.
They
And
got
they're-
so much marketing
it's
on
gonna pull
Jungle
in
Cruise too.
some people, whereas Haunted Mansion, and this is why I actually kind of like it, is getting actors that are, while they are known, they're not a brand.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm looking forward to, but I don't know if a lot of families are going to choose it over other options.
I see it. It has such an association with the ride, and
Right.
most families have been to Disney World. They could maybe see it as like the horror gateway drug
Yeah.
for their kids.
I'm gonna
where
go
it's
see
like-
it. Like I know I'm gonna see
Why
it.
did you phrase it that way? As if like you're trying to get your kids.
Well,
into
yeah, I'm
drugs?
sure there are parents out there who's like, oh, someday I want to watch Exorcist with my child for the first time. And we have to start somewhere, so
Yeah.
All right, who here's Rick rolling me?
My other, not me. It's probably AJ.
I think AJ Rick rolled me.
My other ones are Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. I have that in the Dark Horse category. My rationale for this is the last Transformers did horribly at the box office by big budget standards. Like it still made like 140 million or something.
yeah.
I think this one does a little better, but I don't think it's gonna do like gangbusters.
I don't
like.
I don't see it being a knockout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people liked Bumblebee, so that rose the
Yeah.
It brought the stock up.
Noah
Yeah.
approached the
It
microphone.
revitalized
Well,
the
Noah,
brand.
I think we'll be revisiting.
Although, is
it.
this a Michael Bay movie?
I'm on
Or is
board
this
with you.
like,
It's Michael Bay is not directing. The reins have been passed to someone else.
I just think people have Transformers in their hearts and their bellies right now.
13
in their
bellies.
bellies.
Especially since it doesn't look super Michael Bay like.
Yeah, that is
looks-
true.
It looks cool. The trailer
That is
looks
true.
cool.
It does.
and people like those beasts. Apparently,
I do. I love
apparently
it.
Those beasts are
Yeah.
cool in the like if you were into Transformers.
And they even reskinned Optimus.
yeah. My last one is Elemental. For all the reasons we've already said so far, I know this may come up in other people's top tens, but I don't have a lot of confidence in Pixar right now, and that's not because Pixar's not making good movies. It's because Disney really shot their own horse in the leg, like by having a lot of their movies come up, it be free to stream on their Disney Plus service. It devalued Pixar as a theatrical prospect. Like for whatever reason, the Disney Animated Studios movies got theatrical releases, whereas the Pixar's were like, oh, you can stream it day one on Disney Plus. Now people are expecting their Pixar cereal in the morning versus in the theater. And that's what I think cratered Lightyear. So I see this doing similar to Lightyear numbers, which will be slightly better for Elemental because the expectations aren't as high. But I don't
Sound
have...
like you're shilling for theaters here. Your party line of streaming is killing the theater.
Oh, I like streaming. I just don't... I feel bad
Well,
for... I feel bad
yeah.
for
The
Pixar.
fun out of the enjoyment of going to the
Yeah.
theater. It's a different thing.
Well, I think Elemental just is something that is not, just looks wise. I don't think it's something that would resonate a lot with people immediately. And they've already done the abstract thought category twice.
Yeah.
With Soul and Inside Out. And this just feels like another one adding to that list. So while it could be good, it's just not as unique anymore.
Plus, it's from the director of one of the
Soul?
lesser Pixar movies, A Good Dinosaur. So,
yeah.
which I don't hate. I'm just
I don't
like,
hate, but it just wasn't.
didn't do
the
anything.
good dinosaur was the good dinosaur.
Anyway,
Good.
People don't
Yeah.
see Pixar movies for the director, though.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, those are dark horses. Mm-hmm. Got them out of the way. Are we ready for our top 10?
Let's do it.
And
Let's do it.
We're going to start at the round table this time, reset. We'll start with you, AJ, just to keep it easy. So we'll do the remote first, and then I'll just go down the circle this way. AJ,
All right. Number
what is
10.
Yep, 10.
I did Transformers here. Kind of just like what you said for your dark horse. I think it's going to make money. Transformers has always made money despite its flack. Well, I don't know if I can back up that statement. I know people see it. Michael Bay's gone. Bumblebee revitalized the brand. I think it'll at least be big enough to make 10.
All right. So eking its way into the 10 spot, AJ has Transformers. David, what's your 10?
I'm going to get in trouble for this one, I know.
Okay.
I know it. My number 10 is Oppenheimer.
I don't think. Hey, that's not much trouble because
Well, not trouble for you guys, I guess.
I understand it.
I personally was thinking this through. I had it at number 5 at one point, and again, shifting. I think it looks amazing. I'm excited for it. It looks like a good movie. I just think that it's the kind of movie that doesn't have a lot of word of mouth or a rewatchable factor that
That's why
will
they're
bring
selling-
people consistently.
That's why they're selling it as Christopher Nolan movie
Yeah.
versus
Yep.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, which I just
'Cause
looking
they're
at
like,
like
remember Dunkirk?
Yep.
Remember The Dark Knight? Remember Inception?
the
This
same
is the same director.
yeah. So I mean, and it still will probably do well. That's why I have it here. But yeah, I think that it's just I just don't have as much faith in it as I want it to actually do.
It is, I will say for me, it is my most anticipated summer movie.
So
Yeah,
here's
same
the
here.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs like a lot of faith to be in the top 10 because that's all of these are going to make a lot of
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It was smart to put it in the 10.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
Oh, it definitely is not a dark horse movie.
I also feel like any sort of war-related drama usually does pretty well.
Yeah.
I think that's always been something that people are attracted to. Things that are well done in that category are, I feel like, always anticipated in some way.
They're weirdly consistent in that they don't always open big, but like oldie people keep turning out for them.
Yeah.
Like Hacksaw.
They're like, I remember that time.
Hacksaw Ridge. I remember when that guy held that torso.
He used my body to block the bullets.
Yep.
You sounded like what's his name from Tropic Thunder.
Nick,
Oh.
Nick
Yeah.
Nolte.
Four-leaf. I wrote the book.
I was in the shit.
Irina, what's your 10?
My 10 is the Ninja Turtles because I just love the Ninja Turtles. And
fun.
the thing is, it's going for that unique art style that is making me think of Spider-Verse. It's not the same art style, but it's definitely, I think, in
reminiscent,
animation,
yeah.
they're trying to push different styles because everyone's trying to get away from Pixar. And Pixar has sort of standardized what digital animation looks like. So that's why Spider-Verse, part of why it was so good and stood out. So I think this has its own unique style, and I'm just gonna trust Seth Rogen in this project, and I watched the trailer, and the trailer doesn't reveal too much. I feel like there might be more that we could be missing out on that one. So
And the animation looks super cool.
yeah, and I'm gonna I wanna see it. I wanna give it a chance. So I'm gonna put it up there. It might surprise me.
Yeah. Good pick. I wasn't brave enough to put it on
Same.
mine.
Yeah, I have a lot of bold decisions that I've
Yeah.
made.
I wanted to, but yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
That's
I made some bold
that's one I'm
decisions, too.
very much considering, like that's like the DC Super Pets of this year, where like
Yeah.
it could do really well or it could just kind of like
I do think the Ninja Turtles has been needing a good rebranding for
Yeah.
a while.
it
'cause
definitely
it's-
looks the part. Yeah.
The previous animated ones didn't do so hot, so I'm hoping
terms
this
of
one
feature-
is, huh?
In terms of feature films, I mean, there's some animated series that
Oh,
are
yeah.
recent that are actually really
And the
good.
animated series have always been solid, but any feature films that were represented didn't have they didn't have a lot of star power to them. So I'm hoping
Yeah.
with this one that since it's still so soon after others have been made, they might have something that they're bringing to the table that's different and stands out.
It's definitely in the vein of the more modern style of the recent animated
Right.
series versus the Michael Bay one and before that even.
Yep.
And they're aged younger. They're more geared to really
Actual
young audience,
teenagers
true
and
teenagers.
younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's a good opportunity there for sure.
There's some promise.
And Seth Rogen is front and center, kind of going to be promoting that one.
Yeah.
So, Noah, what's your top or your 10 spot?
Oppenheimer.
Ooh, so two
Are you
Oppenheimers
serious?
at
Yeah.
10.
I thought you were going to have that way higher up.
No, well, here's the thing about Oppenheimer. It looks really good, but the target audience is going to be, I think, smaller than a lot of other box office movies on here.
All right.
So-
I don't think it's going to get the kiddies.
Yeah, exactly. Precisely.
and kiddies,
I don't know. I'd take my kids.
I was going to
to
say kids equal number.
No, but I think it's going to be like big for adults.
Right.
Right? But it's not a family movie.
Yeah.
And that's important when it comes to making
Yeah.
continuous money.
We could argue too that like obviously this is less a family movie than Top Gun, but Top Gun isn't really my first thought when I'm thinking let's bring the kids to
Yeah.
a movie, but
Yeah.
it still did number one.
Yeah.
It is more family oriented
Yeah.
than
It-
Oppenheimer, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but-
Top Gun is one of those ones that is like, that has all the boomers being like, oh, I remember when I was going to theaters and now they've got kids and they're like, let me show you something.
That's exactly what
That's
it
a
was.
real man.
Also, you can be like, oh, my kid loves planes. Let's show him a plane movie.
Yeah.
Not a lot of kids out there like, let me show you an atomic bomb movie, son.
Yeah.
Son, let me show you a bunch of half naked men playing volleyball on
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
All right. So Noah's got
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer at 10. So two spots by Oppenheimer have been claimed, and they're both at that 10 spot.
I will also say that that's one of my most anticipated. I would love to watch that movie.
My top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My 10 is Barbie. I think in my calculus for putting this here, and this one could go higher or it could go lower, but I'm thinking the slate of films for this summer is very lacking in bigger budgeted product that is targeted at more of a female audience. And this is going to be like date night with the girls where they're like, let's go see a movie. Ryan Gosling's in it. He looks great. Margot Robbie's a great Barbie. Greta Gerwig has a great track record as a director so far. She did Little Women, which was a massive hit. She did Lady Bird. And this movie just has that, like, if it catches the cultural zeitgeist at just the right time, it could really break out.
That's what I'm thinking too.
And I think this weekend's going to be huge, which is why I created that perk for us. I think it's going to be the guys and the girls going into the theater and just going to splitting up and going to opposite sides into the either theater. I even think Barbie could snag a couple guys.
Well, I have more to say on that, but I'll save it for when I
Margot
bring up
Robbie.
Barbie.
Yeah. Huh?
I said I have more to say on that, but I'll save it for when I bring up
Cool.
Barbie.
So this is my like safe spot for Barbie. I just think it's a big question mark still, but I think it could break out big.
If you were to have,
I didn't see one,
What was that?
but I didn't see one, but the trailer like reveals no story or plot or I don't know what
They just released one
movie's about.
yesterday, and it has a lot more information than the original.
Okay.
I wouldn't say a lot more. It kind of shows a bit of the dialogue, but you're not entirely sure what the whole plot is going to be.
Yeah. So I have
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
there you go. All right, so Barbie for me at number 10. All right, the 9th spot. AJ, take it away.
All right, I have Oppenheimer slated here. As much as I want this movie to do extremely well, I think the reality is we already kind of touched on biopics don't do massively well financially unless it's like super flashy like Bohemian Rhapsody or Elton John or whatnot.
Or
I'm
Elvis.
thinking about Imitation Game. Excellent movie, middling results.
Oh, that was a great
Hidden
movie.
Figures, excellent movie, middling results. I think it's probably going to land around there. I think it's got a lot of groundswell and interest, but what that translates to once summer ticks on and stuff, I don't know.
My comp for this one is it does exactly Dunkirk.
Yeah.
I just and Dunkirk overperformed. Like it made a good amount of money, but there's still a ceiling for movies like that.
I think Dunkirk is a completely different beast, though, the way it was marketed.
This one's being
Yeah, it had a lot of hype, a ton of hype.
I think, David, no offense, but I think you're seriously underestimating the
Nolan factor?
hype levels for Oppenheimer and the
Yeah.
Nolan factor.
Yeah, I might be. You've won this more than I have, so I yield to you, sir.
Nolan is such a name. Like
He is.
he opened a movie in pandemic times, Tenet, and despite this being like, I don't even think there were really vaccines out in the wild yet. People went and saw it.
he's like the movie
Like, it's like-
version of Elon
Although-
Musk.
Tenet was like massively pushed heavily in terms
Yeah.
of marketing,
Yeah.
I feel like.
Which
I-
I would. That's another thing. Power of marketing. This one's
Yeah.
going to have the power of
It does.
marketing behind it.
I do think another factor is the content of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with Dunkirk, I know there are a lot of people, especially historian buffs, who know exactly what that is about.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, it was a story that I think people who kind of shun history lessons didn't really know.
Yeah.
But everyone knows about the bombs.
Yeah.
And so I think there is that aspect of people knowing somewhat of that story and then being interested in seeing a movie version because there have been more people interested in a lot of history dramas in TV form these days. So I feel like that could draw some more viewers.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think Oppenheimer is gonna drop a huge box office bomb.
That could be
Good or bad?
Good or bad.
Yeah.
All right, Arena. What's your 9?
My 9 is Fast X.
Okay.
Oh, that deep, huh?
Did we skip you?
That deep.
No, I think we were just going slightly different.
I do think we
He said Oppenheimer.
No.
We're doing round table now.
No.
No, David's the one that's having a
He
problem.
should be doing his 9.
Yeah.
He did do his 9.
No, that was
Oh,
AJ.
he said not. Okay, sorry.
That's why I was confused.
Yeah,
yeah.
you were speaking a bunch about Oppenheimer, so I
Sorry.
Go ahead. What's yours? David.
Yeah, just forget I said anything.
Yeah, whatever.
Sorry, Arena.
We'll get there.
My number 9 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, that low.
Ooh.
I know. I know.
Shame on you.
I don't have enough faith. I am.
I get
This is probably this is top 3 most anticipated of the year for me. I
Yeah.
am so excited for this movie. I know that the original one did well. It just didn't do. It didn't do
didn't do as well as it deserved.
exactly. And
But-
I don't know how much of that is going to change for this. It could.
But there are so many people who have agreed on that movie as being amazing.
I know.
And they're excited about
I
the
think
second
it. I think it's going to make more money than the first one. I
I
just
think it all
don't.
depends on marketing.
one. Okay.
Yeah, I just
Part
don't
of it
know.
is what's our content like, are we in an echo chamber? We're talking to people that are like-minded.
Yeah.
So we all saw it, of course, but is the general audience like,
Yeah, well, and even if they do like it, is it going to bring in the same numbers? Is it going to hit top 5 box office? I don't think so. I think it should.
I don't think anyone said top 5 necessarily.
No one said that, but I have it at 9, so
Yeah.
I think that's still fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want it, and if I'm wrong, I'll be happy because that's the movie I will be happy I'm wrong about.
Fair enough. Arena?
Fast X.
Fast X at number 9.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Do you explain?
I mean, this one is mostly just a personal thing, and I just don't. I don't know.
You're just like, I don't want it in there.
No, it's not like I don't want it in there. I just don't. When I see a trailer for Fast and the Furious, I just don't feel hyped.
But
enough.
nothing
Okay.
speaks about Fast and Furious and family like Vin Diesel.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
look at me. Hey, look me in the eye. Family.
It doesn't work on me. Yeah, but I knew it had to be in the 10 somewhere because you know it's Fast and the Furious. People are gonna show up.
Yeah. Noah, what's your 9?
So this is funny because I was roasting David about it.
Come on, baby.
Spider-Man.
You and I. Wait, so we have the same number 10 and number 9?
Yeah, we
Let's.
do.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rena. Let's go.
Yeah. No, I think it's gonna do pretty well. I wouldn't. I don't know. I think it's
Yeah.
not diminished by.
It's just this is that strong of a year.
Yeah.
Is what you're trying to say?
Yeah. It's just a really strong year. A lot of things are gonna be vying for attention.
It could be drowned by the
Yeah.
other commotion.
And in
I
that way,
think so.
I kind of agree with David too. And like, I think you made it sound like it was going to do more negatively,
Yeah.
just in your
The tone,
description
yeah.
of it. But really, it's versus all these other
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
just heavy hitters.
That's what's so hard about listing this one is there are so many family-oriented movies, and family-oriented movies do
Yep.
really well over the summer, but there's a lot of them. So
Yeah.
Right.
okay. Noah has Spider-Man, Spooderman,
Spooter.
Spooderman
Spooderman.
in the 9th
Yep.
spot. My number 9 is Spider-Man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, no.
You guys getting on to me about this?
I forgot I put it there.
No, it was mostly
Me
AJ
too.
and I who booed.
No, I did too. I booed him.
I heard everybody. I heard the world boo me.
Yep. And I even put like number totals
verse.
on mine, how I think this. So I think we all have different methods of going about this. What I do, I'm a numbers guy. So I'll guess the domestic total. Like I'll predict the domestic total and put it next to it. And be
Wait,
like,
you
and
did
then,
that for all your movies?
Yeah. And then I order them as to like what my guesses for those were based off their box office history in that franchise and stuff like that.
I want to hear
So-
your results, like how close you were in
I'll
box office
leave them
scores.
there. They won't factor in it at all, but I'll leave them in there just for fun. Yeah, I agree with everything said. I want to tell you there's any way this could play out. Like I am fairly confident on my placements of. Oh wait, sorry, this was 9. I have. Sorry, so the funny thing about the way these lists are done is I was reading along the left column, which is
Yeah,
technically
the rows.
Yeah,
one
technically.
below.
So my 9 is actually Oppenheimer. Sorry, but it
Oh,
said
okay.
10.
Okay.
So we all feel we're kind of like pegging these correctly. I feel like.
I wonder what your 10 or I wonder what your 8 is.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to swing back around and see what that is. What a mystery. Yeah.
What a mystery.
Yeah, Oppenheimer, I feel the same way. This one's going to do Dunkirk numbers. And if I am not mistaken, Dunkirk did about 155 million. I have this pegged at about 155 million, which that versus the other ones, with my calculations, threw it in the 9th spot. So that's how I broke it down.
I'm with you on that one.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. AJ, take it away with number 8.
Number 8, I have Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
All right.
Just because it's going to get views. I don't know. I haven't decided yet if I will view it. Crystal Skull is still a bitter taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
I don't know. Harrison Ford is awesome. He's old.
Yep.
I don't know what to make of this. I hope it's good. I do. But I did not need another Indiana Jones movie. The first 3 are like some of my favorite movies of all time. I just don't want this to tarnish that name as his retirement, but it is, Lucas and Spielberg and Harrison Ford. It's a big call. The trailers do look good. I think it's still going to draw a crowd. But I do think people are still remembering Crystal Skull.
I think if the movie opens with my son Mutt, he's dead.
Yes,
It'll get good word of mouth.
that would be no. Honestly,
He's dead.
honestly, that would be so good.
Or if he wakes up and it was all a fever dream.
Just do it.
And he's in like this old folks home, and
Yeah.
all of the Indiana Jones tales were fake.
Oh, no one would.
Yeah, all he
tank
says getting out of bed is "thank God." Like,
Aliens.
Aliens. He's like in the senior citizen zone.
I swear there were aliens. Big crazy skulls.
Instead of a casket,
Keeps
he's buried
calling
in a
himself
refrigerator.
Indiana.
AJ, I'm with you though. This one's a big question mark for me. Like I want it to be great, but I don't know how confident I am, and I don't know how much the stench of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is still on this movie. But
Yeah.
we'll see if I play it somewhere else on my list. 8
Yep.
for you, David.
8. Barbie. This
Barbie.
movie is an enigma. There is nothing else I've seen like it.
An anomaly.
It could be. There's Greta Gerwig has a good track record, and I think that is going to double the numbers that we expect. I think that especially if it is a good movie, which just knowing her, I think it's gonna be. I also think, and I was gonna bring this up earlier, but I reserved it for now. I think it's gonna bring in way more guys than you think. What I expect to happen is that it's gonna originally draw in more females, and then people are gonna be like, oh wait, this movie looked on the outside like a chick flick, but it's actually way more open to other people, and it's gonna draw in more numbers as it goes, and more guys are gonna come see it.
You're
So that's what
stealing
I think.
told you when we were.
No,
watching Okay.
I truly believe this.
Gotcha.
I don't believe it to the same extent you do, but it's I do think that it's going to do well.
I think it's appealing to the film crowd weirdly because they like the people behind it, and it
Big
doesn't.
names.
This doesn't look like it's going to be Transformers for girls, even though
Yeah.
Transformers is huge. You know what I mean?
So, I think that it's gonna draw the Margot Robbie audience, which is substantial but not super substantial. But that also is kind of a limiting factor because of the fact that people think of her in a certain way, and it's I don't think it's gonna draw in a whole ton of people. But
What about Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, Gosling's like a heartthrob.
He's a heartthrob.
for this.
is he the
He's a
main character?
heartthrob.
He's Ken.
He's Ken.
He's
But
Ken.
he's been kind of out of the picture for a bit.
Yeah,
But
since
still,
La
I think
La
this.
Land.
I think this
Yeah.
reignites it, though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's just a mental perception about it that's not going to make it huge, but it's still going to be big.
Yeah.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
Okay. So David made his case at 8. I appreciate it. I acknowledge it. I like it. Irina, what's your 8?
My 8 is. Oh my gosh, I was just looking at it. Oh yeah, Indiana Jones. Why did I forget?
Indeed.
AJ had mentioned that one. Yeah, I pretty much echo what AJ is feeling here, and I think it'll do well. I just don't know how well, or even if people are really that ready for it, or not ready. But I think the Indiana Jones train has passed. I think it's had its day, you know. This I feel is it feels like a last resort to leave a good taste in your mouth
Yeah.
about the series, you know, because they don't want to end on Crystal Skull and its failure.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be good enough that you kind of walk away going, well, yeah, that was good, but it's not anything that's going to be huge.
Yeah.
That's my feeling about it. Is
Yeah.
it'll be okay, but not
The
fantastic.
the part of me that was battling with Indy is this going to be like Solo, a Star Wars story, and do numbers but be ultimately disappointing? Or will it do exactly as well as Kingdom of the Crystal Skull did, which was really well. It's just
Yeah.
people didn't like that movie.
But I think the reason Crystal Skull did so well is because it's bringing back Indiana Jones. It's also him playing Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So the crowds want to see him in his former glory. But I think there is that burn still. And even if people
There's also been a lot of
Go ahead.
there's also been a lot of production drama too, with rewrites and
Yeah.
That's not a good sign. That doesn't always mean it's going to be bad, but
On the flip side, it is they announced that it's going to be headlining some big movie festival, which usually when studios do that way in advance, it's because they know they have a good
That's
one.
confidence.
and
Yeah,
so they're
that-
trying to get that
Yeah.
grassroots.
That's
thing.
why this one
Yeah.
is so baffling to me.
Yeah.
Like I
I
don't.
think for me, I'm just gonna say I think it's going to be good, but it's not going to be enough for people to just keep coming back and tell everyone, "Yo, you gotta see new Indiana Jones." And even if they did, I think there are a lot of people out there who are kind of like, I'll catch it when it's
Yeah.
released on streaming or something." You know, I don't
Yeah.
think people are as hyped as they were for Crystal Skull.
There's also the James Mangold factor. It's directed Logan, directed Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah.
I knew it. You know what I was saying in my
What?
head?
What?
I was saying I get Logan vibes from this one. And
Interesting. Okay.
And from the perspective of like they're gonna capitalize on that nostalgia. They're gonna capitalize on that.
Old
This is the end of
age.
the story.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're gonna capitalize on all of that to draw in
Right.
everyone's emotional.
Yep.
Noah's doing a lot of
Strings.
finger movements, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am.
Anyway, we'll discuss it
That's
even
what I-
more.
Gotcha.
I think Noah and I are going to talk about this
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, this isn't Indy's last stand on this list or on any of our lists. I think.
Dang, is he getting in a wheelchair now?
He just might. Indiana Jones and the silver
It
wheelchair.
belongs in a museum. No, you belong in a museum.
I want no, never mind. I'm not even gonna say that. Noah, what is your 8?
My 8th is where is it? Elemental.
Oh,
Elementals.
I think, it's going to do decently. Even if people aren't excited about it, it's
kid's
still
movie.
going to. It's a kids' movie. It's Pixar, Disney. It's going to make a little bit of money. And I think 8th place. Like,
just so
I don't know. It's as simple as that.
freaking boring.
Pretty colors mean people go to.
Yeah, I'll say it looks better than that DreamWorks movie that's coming out. The Gilman one about the
Yeah,
Kraken.
Rudy Gilman or whatever.
But just the title,
Yeah.
the Kraken, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Just the title is a mouthful. It does not roll off the tongue. People can't tell it. What was that movie called? Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know that. Blah blah blah. Kraken.
Whatever.
that's the one. And I could be wrong because DreamWorks has been impressing lately with like Puss in Boots and the bad guys.
Yeah.
But that's the one that I don't think is gonna do as well this summer.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
not on there for me.
DreamWorks on the whole is kind of a wild card.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
They pump out more product than Pixar, and some of it's like the quality and the amount of money made varies wildly.
Yeah.
But-
I still have so much respect for them ending How to Train Your Dragon exactly when they should have.
Yep. And by
It's
the
a
way, the
perfect
new
series.
Puss in Boots is really good.
Yeah,
I
that's
gotta
what I've
watch it.
heard.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. All right. My number 8. What is it, guys? I don't know. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I think this is. Here's where we're getting to the part of my list where I lose confidence in my picks. I'm weirdly confident about my placements of Oppenheimer and Barbie at 9 and 10, which those in any other top 10 list would be your wild card picks. Like how are these gonna do? You know?
Yeah.
But I'm like, I think these are gonna do well, but they're not gonna like blow the roof off. You know? And now we're at Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And I'll just get into my way of thinking with this one. The first one did good numbers at the box office, but mostly because of word of mouth. Like it had a disappointing opening, but people kept showing up and the money mounted and mounted. Its ultimate total, when you look on it and take it for face value, it's like not on the level of the Tom Holland movies at all. But then you factor in the reviews, you factor in how people have not forgotten about this movie, and then the anticipation of it through the pandemic time has only lifted because it's been postponed. And I think this one could be huge. So
it's a wild card.
yeah, I'm nervous about it this low, but I'm also thinking like,
Really?
well,
This low?
So I have it. My domestic guess for it is 200 million. I think the first one did 180, around there. So I'm like, oh, it'll bump up a little bit. Since there is a lot of competition this summer, I think like demands it, like people will go see it, but they'll also have their attention on other movies as well. So I was like kind of playing it safe, putting it low. But I think there's a big chance this one could move up. So here is entering the part of my list where, and there's a lot of the list left where I'm uncertain about each and every pick. And I'll give my pros and cons. But that's my pro and con with this one. I think it could break out. But here it is at number 8. AJ, what is your 7?
All right, so I'm going to be the dissenting opinion on Elemental here. I have a hunch this is going to be the kind of summer family darling, animated darling for families with young kids. It's already in the conversation, regarding the animation style, so people are talking about it already. It's kind of smack dab in the middle of summer. It's just got enough of that kind of vibrancy that, young kids and families are going to like and remember and talk about and watch again. I had a hunch about The Bad Guys last year. You can't count out the kids. I think this is going to catch their attention.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
All right.
Yeah.
What I'm loving about this list is how this is shaping up so far is we have faith. We've put faith in different movies, like across the board. And we've sunk other movies where I'm like, oh, some people sunk The Flash that low. Some people sunk. This is going to be fascinating to see how this plays out.
I'm
still
still surprised by Irina's Fast and Furious.
I stand by the Northman. Okay?
The Northman. You think they're going to pull through?
I think he's going to make it into the top 10 this year.
We've got a parallel here with Sisu.
Dude,
yeah.
Sisu
Northman.
looks so good.
Sisu does look
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But no faith.
Yeah, that's
Well, it's
that's
got the
me
John
too.
Wick crew behind it, if there's anything there.
And the idea of John Wick in World War II times sounds really cool.
It does.
Yeah, and that's what I want from John Wick. Like, stop making actual John Wick 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever.
I think they're done
Don't
doing that
tarnish the
now.
John
I
Wick
think
name.
they're done.
Or
Hopefully.
are they?
I don't
Yeah.
know. But
I have thoughts, but we'll talk about that later.
take that theme and apply it in different sub stories. I'm fine with that.
All right. David. Yeah, you're next.
All right, I am.
You're at 7. He's like shaking his head at me. Not me.
I was looking at his next selection, and for some reason there's The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor
At
there?
number 7.
David, you think
Yeah,
there's
that's
going to be a
right.
big re-release for, and they're all going to show
Hey,
up.
it's rewatchable.
Brendan Fraser's hot right now, okay?
He
Oh
is.
yeah, best actor.
Nice. He stands by it too.
It'd be funny if to capitalize off of Brendan Fraser being big right now, they're like, we got to have a massive
Re-release.
screening all summer of Mummy Tomb of
It's
the
going to
Dragon.
be an Alamo Draft House exclusive. We're
gonna
going to
sh-
make Asian food. It's
We're
gonna
going to
be
shut out
something.
all other movies so people can only see The Mummy.
They'll have cocktails named the Yeti.
They'll have Jet Li's meatballs.
Honestly, I would
Gently.
honestly
Not even the first 2 Mummy movies. Just
Honestly-
Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
if they did that, AJ, I'd fly you down here and we'd all watch
We'd
it.
all
I,
watch it together.
that would be great.
We would chip in for a flight.
Yeah.
All right. My actual number 7. Transformers: Rise of the Beast.
All right, a lot of faith. I want to do your stump speech for this one. Like, go for it. Like,
He's like, what
sell
is
us.
that?
Sell us on.
I know relative box office numbers for the Transformers franchise. I know that it's been dwindling, but this one has a it factor that I cannot quantify. There is something about the trailer that got me hooked.
Preach,
and
brother.
I did not care about the last 4.
Yeah.
I could care less about any of those trailers. There's something about this one that looks
Yes.
different. And if I feel that way, I feel like more people will. And there's already enough of a fan base for the Transformers franchise.
Yep.
So I think that because of Bumblebee already kind of bringing the stock up a little bit right before, I mean, not right before, it's been years, but that was the last one.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that this one is going to do better than expected. I don't think it's going to be number 1, but I think it's going to be up there.
What I'm looking forward to with that movie is just editing that is not so manic and insane.
It already
like
looks better in the trailers.
Yes, it looks smoother, but I'm more of the opinion of like, has the damage to this franchise already been done?
I don't think so.
Like,
I'm just gonna wait till I say mine.
yeah.
yeah,
I don't think enough damage has been done. I think that people believe in the franchise.
You think there
it
should
needs
be
more.
more?
Yeah, like
More
guys,
damage.
come on, it's
Not
Transformers.
enough.
Didn't you watch any of the Michael Bay movies?
We did.
Yep,
Unfortunately,
Lots of damage.
yep.
Lots of
Is Grimlock going to
explosions.
be in this one, or do they already have him?
I don't
I don't know
know.
if they've got the Dinobots with the beasts or not.
Dinobots are out of the way, I think. I think this is the beasts, like the gorilla, the cheetah, I don't know what they're
Bird.
called. The bird.
Oh, Cheetor. Yeah,
I'll
he's
just say
popular.
this: I did not see Megan Fox in this movie
No.
in the trailer.
Oh, she was there. I saw her.
Yeah,
I think that's a positive omen.
All right.
About Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I didn't see him either. Another positive omen.
Chadwick Wiki.
Ugh. All right. Transformers at number 7 for David. Irina, what's your 7?
My number 7 is Guardians.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Big move.
All right.
Big move.
A lot of my list is not.
Gut based.
Yeah, well,
Like what
it's
you
all
like?
it's all gut, and it's just kind of how I feel about trajectories of certain franchises, and I think I'm just so past Marvel right now that even Guardians from the beginning, I liked Guardians 1, but Guardians has never really fully hooked me. It's been just enough for me to have fun watching it, and then just never returned to it again. So the third one, yeah, I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. The third one just looks like kind of more of the same, and
But despite
not
your feelings,
interested.
how do you think people, other
I don't
people
care.
respond to this?
You know,
They should all listen to me.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is like the last hope of Marvel fans.
I agree, and we will get to that
Yeah.
later in the list. There's
Well,
much more to
We
be
had
said.
Fat Thor. We got to have Fat Groot too.
Yeah.
he's just been working out.
He's in his teenage years. He's putting
He's
on
big boned.
It's awkward. The awkward
Adding
stages.
growth rings.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, I get kind of tired of the whole love drama type stuff, and so having that being
Got to resuscitate the love interest and have it all over again.
that's been my least favorite trope in all romantic tropes ever is the I lost my memory, and the counterpart trying to figure out how to fix that problem.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I watched the trailer and I just was like, meh.
That was a really good Gamora impression, by the way.
Yeah.
Wait, that wasn't Gamora?
No, why is Gamora?
All right, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 making an early showing here on the list, I presume. What if we all shut it out completely? That'd be weird.
It's not even on my list.
Yeah, none of us voted on it.
No faith. At number 7 for Arena, I like it. You're going with the heart and kind of
Yeah, all of my choices are pretty much
Honest-
from the heart.
I do understand.
Hearthstone.
There is a lot going on. I think 7 is still a place that's going to make a lot of money. So
Yeah.
Yep. Noah, what is your 7?
my 7 is where is it? This is one of the ones I already think is going to be higher, but at the time I was putting it there, and I was like, well, and it's Super Mario.
Okay.
I already feel I didn't know this before I listed it, but then after I listed it, I found out, and that it's Illumination Studios, and people just like Illumination for some reason.
Minions. Freaking
Yeah.
Minions.
People just like Illumination. They always make a lot of money, and like I think that's probably going to be.
We learned
that's
that last year.
They try to make as much
Yeah.
money as they can with as little plot as possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're gonna. I think honestly, if I'm being for real, that's gonna go up a couple of places. But I already locked in my spot. So
Do you guys think
Good.
that Illumination has Zoomers or Gen Z on staff? They're like, all right, what's cool? What's hip right
Yes.
now? And they just have people like on TikTok scrolling. They're like,
Oh, for
add
sure.
this, add this,
Yeah.
add this.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, they are very much that. What is
No.
big right now? What's a popular reference?
they actually like have a rudimentary, or sorry, like super version of Chat GPT that's that has everything funneling.
Know what? That
Funneling into their system.
you are so right about, like, if you told ChatGPT to write a kids movie and animate it, it would
would be
be
Illumination.
the Illumination movies. It really would.
I love how much we just trash on Illumination.
Well, the funny
I
everything
think that I'm excited about it.
Hold on, what's
honestly.
what's the best Illumination film?
I will say it is from the ones I've seen, which I've not seen many. It is Super Mario Brothers. Like I saw it the other day,
Exactly.
and
You
that
You
is-
watched it already?
Yeah, it is not.
It's out?
Yeah.
Yes, that is-
I think it just
yesterday.
came out.
I thought it was
yeah.
today.
By the way, that is not a high bar. I still didn't love it. Like it was like, but
Ooh,
what
big talk, big talk.
You know,
what I want to say about
I don't remember what
their
it looks like.
in defense of them, definitely not the writing. The animation is always insanely
yeah.
good.
No,
Like
no. They're-
very good animation.
Yeah.
You know what I think? I think the main, like the reason why everyone's watching it is, well, it's Illumination, but honestly, I think it's just Jack Black. If I'm being real,
Chris Pratt.
Well,
I think it's the nostalgia factor.
I would
a lot of
also-
people. There's a lot of bad press
Also-
on Chris Pratt.
Mario is a super strong
It is, yeah.
theme for all generations.
Yeah.
Like even older generations, but young generations still super into
Al-
Mario.
Also, the imagery of it
you
seems
keep
like
one in
justice for all the dads that were burned by
Mm-hmm.
the original '93 one.
Yeah,
like you look at it, it's
yeah.
like we did it right this
Guys,
time.
that was
Like,
Yeah.
a
that's
great
the-
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
well,
they're
there are
cute.
even there are kids that I've heard just talking about like, oh, I gotta see the Mario movie.
Yeah.
So there are children that are they still play Mario games. Like there's a huge crowd that
Yep.
this appeals to.
Can't you
it's
go
gonna
into
come
the
up
garage?
later, so we can table that for now. Unless you had other personal feelings about it, Noah.
I just like Jack Black as Bowser.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the only one that's
You should,
really excited
you should,
about
Noah.
that.
You should still
No,
go.
I
see it.
am.
Y'all still
Yeah.
go see it. Still go see it. I don't.
I will.
I don't hate it.
No, I know. Yeah.
I really don't. It is much less annoying
Yeah,
than a
Minions can suck.
Yeah. Jeez.
or suck bananas. Sorry.
That's so dumb.
Thanks. Sorry.
The biggest insult, like, to my eyes was in that trailer when they show the minion walking away with, a thong.
Oh no.
Like, what?
right,
What are
all right.
you doing?
What
It's like-
zeitgeisty
it's like
thing is that?
Straight from Rule 34. Like,
Yep.
My 7 is Fast X. So I'm kind of with y'all. I think or F9 as they call it. The titles are ridiculous.
you think Vin Diesel's family is not going to bring him to the top?
Not to the top, but it's gonna get him in the 10.
That's true.
I think there's a big love for this franchise that
Yeah.
almost makes it bulletproof, if not for the massive budgets behind these movies. F9 notably brought back cinema going when it came out. It was like the big, like, open the doors, bring the audiences back in. That said, though, it only did 170 million. Granted, a lot of people were scared to go back into the theaters. So my reference point for this one was to go back to the previous one, Fate of
Right.
the Furious, and use that as a comp. And that one did about 210 million pre-pandemic. I think this one does the same. I think this franchise at this point is kind of its ceiling has kind of flatlined. It hit its peak at 7. I think people are still interested, and this one looks to be the biggest of them all. They've added more characters. Jason Momoa will be a bit of a draw as well. Mm-hmm. Brie Larson is like more of it's going to bring her stands in, and it's going to repel the people that don't like her. So she's
True.
like a net, like, just
Neutral.
Yeah. So I just see this movie doing exactly the same as Fate of the Furious. 210 million, that's where I have it. And that lands it versus the other ones at the 7 spot. So fast 10 your seatbelts, guys.
Oh my god.
I stole that joke. I actually got that online, so I'm not
You
taking credit
hate
for it.
you hate trying to take credit for things.
Yeah, I don't. There's no honor in it.
Well, also, it's like a guard against those people that make those comments like, you got this from here, didn't you?
Yeah.
There's honor amongst
Yeah,
thieves.
because fast 10 your seatbelts is such a work of genius.
So good.
Oh, I get it.
AJ, what is your number 6?
My number 6 is Fast 10 or Fast X, whatever it is.
All right. You're close to me, and we're all kind of.
I haven't kept up with the Fast franchise. You know, I kind of know it at a glance. I've seen a handful of them. They are what they are. I just don't know them well enough to see, where this one compares to the others. I know that, probably what's his name, Paul Walker being represented back in it, probably brings some excitement back to it. You have more of the femme fatale factor from the trailers that I saw fighting and stuff. Jason Statham, it looks like it's pretty amped up, and I think it's going to do well for sure. I just don't know how well compared to other things. So it's kind of middle of the pack here just because I didn't know where else to put it.
David.
Huh?
AJ placed Fast X at 6. What is your 6?
It only seems appropriate that we do 3 in a row, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw Fast 6 here as well.
All right.
Fast 10 and 6.
We're almost all aligned on this one, mostly.
So far, in this latter half, anyway.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to say other than it's a big franchise. It makes numbers, and I didn't know where to put it. It seems safe to be in the middle because I know that it does well. I also think the one X factor in this is that I think it's going to be the final one. I don't know if it is.
It's not.
Well,
No, but
am
the thing
incorrect.
the thing is, it's a part 1 of 2 type thing.
Never
That's
mind.
dumb.
Yep. But it is it's like the pre-finale.
Well,
like it's
I was thinking like people know
penultimate.
this is going to
Yeah,
be towards the
thank you.
end. If they hint at the finale, then people are going to be like, "Oh yeah, see, it's one of the last ones. You got to go see this one." I think it will bring in a little bit more than expected.
I'm getting the sense they didn't film back to back. So this one's not going to be like a Harry Potter situation where it like feels like half a movie. I think
Right.
it's more going to be a complete experience, which is why I do have more faith in it than not. But it is very like Vin Diesel and all the team have been like, yeah, this is the end. Like we're doing this one
We're
and
done.
then one more. Like,
Yeah,
My
and we're
main-
retiring.
I think my main problem with the Fast and Furious franchise is that they don't really have like an overarching like end goal.
no, it's a
Like-
soap opera
Drive
Yeah.
cars.
for men.
Like yeah, there's no real
Family.
through line family.
That is the only
There's
through
no
line.
real family.
Look at Fast 1 to Fast 10. What is the only thing between them that makes it consistent?
Vin Diesel.
family.
Cars.
Vin Diesel, cars, and family. There's
Yeah.
there's nothing
No,
else.
The point being, like, Marvel for a while had Thanos, right? And guess what happened after Thanos is gone? It kind of gone a little downhill.
A little bit.
The fun,
Yeah.
you know what? We're gonna have to do this. Maybe you need to see some of these later movies.
I do.
They're the dumbest things you've ever seen, but they're also like applause worthy
Yeah.
at times.
I-
Like it's like
I still have them really high on my list, by the
Yeah.
way.
I find it weirdly equivalent to if Twilight was something that could just constantly be franchisable.
and keep going.
Yeah, it's like that
Yeah.
where it's just hitting all the beats that a lot of girls want to see.
Yep.
And they just will keep coming and
Yep.
coming and
This
coming
is
to
the
watch
guy
the next
version
one.
of
This
that.
is the guy
Yep.
version of that.
Yep. Totally agree. Irina, what is your 6?
Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Oh.
I feel like Tom Cruise is still a power factor here, and Mission Impossible. People are always going to watch Mission
And I think-
Impossible.
More than ever.
Yeah, I think there are going to be a lot of people watching this one. So that's all.
I will say more to come with that one.
Yeah.
Noah.
My number 6. My number 6. It's Guardians.
Wow,
Yeah.
you have it kind of low too.
a little bit.
All right.
I think, yeah, I mean, I don't think
You're
that's that
losing
low.
faith in
It's
Marvel.
not as low.
Well, here's the thing. I don't have a ton of faith in Marvel right now because, the past couple movies have.
I didn't even watch
they've
Ant-Man.
made good. They all make decent money.
Ant-Man didn't. That's their first.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Ant-Man was. I didn't watch Ant-Man.
Ooh.
That's like a.
I didn't either.
Yeah,
Okay, so
I need to watch it, but I
Yeah.
think that there's a lot of people like me that didn't watch Ant-Man, don't have a lot of faith in Marvel movies, but will still see Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's a different beast.
Yes, it's James Gunn.
Yeah.
You know, it's his swan song with Marvel.
Yeah, I think James Gunn is one of the only directors in there that people are like, yeah, James Gunn,
Yeah.
he's the only one that knows the way.
he knows the
He
way.
knows the way.
Even though I will fight tooth and nail for Doctor Strange 2.
Thank you.
I think
Yeah.
that movie is phenomenal.
I'll fight for all Doctor Strange movies.
I
Yeah.
will too.
Yeah.
First one's
Um,
okay.
I think that and Black Panther were the only ones last year that did actually really good.
I
Box
didn't.
office.
I also didn't watch Black Panther.
It's good.
It's just
It's
because,
not as good as the
it's
first
just
one.
because it doesn't have Chadwick Boseman, and that just put a really sour
That's
note.
not because they didn't want him.
No,
Yeah,
I
no,
know,
I know.
obviously.
Yeah.
But even still,
Rip.
All right.
even still,
More.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think Guardians of the Galaxy is gonna get a good majority of people similar to me, and it's the last kind of hurrah for a lot of them. And if this one isn't, tickling their fancy, then they'll probably give up on Marvel.
Yeah. All right. My number 6 is Indy 5.
Whoa.
Nope. Sorry, it's The Flash.
Whoa.
I wonder what your 4 is, or your 5 is.
It's so confusing how they do these rows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have The Flash. I will tell you, there was a time I had this as high as number 2.
Well, guess what? That
Yeah.
is not controversial to me.
Yeah. Guys, this movie is the ultimate, out of all of these, the biggest question mark for me.
That's the same for me.
Easily, not easily, but it is high up there. Just to give you all the backstory of this, Warner Brothers has so much faith in this movie that it's just good. It's very good. Tom Cruise has been, I don't know how much stock you take in this, but Tom Cruise he's a big person who pushes for theatrical viewings, and he's been quoted as saying, "You must see this." He had there's like an early screening or whatever, and he's like, this is cinema, is what he said. Yes, there's the Ezra Miller factor, which drags this one down. But then there's the Michael Keaton factor that balances it right back out.
Yep.
I don't think this is because of Michael Keaton and the old Batmans having like Ben Affleck's in there anywhere as well. Like it's going to be a Spider-Man No Way Home situation.
Yep.
That's what I'm feeling too.
Which is where it could, but I think there's things dampening that success as well. Like this is like Spider-Man No Way Home with just down, but it's on downers, like because you're watching Ezra Miller and there's all this like DC drama.
Yeah.
But I think this one pushes past that and manages to at least be like a hit.
Yeah.
And the number I have for this one is 270 million. I think that's where this one's going. There's going to be good word of mouth based off, like it's from the director of the It movies. So proven track record, the It movies and Mama. And we've had a good, weirdly horror movie directors have been good translators to superhero movies. You look at the first Shazam.
It's because they think outside the box.
you look at Sam Raimi with the Spider-Man trilogy and Doctor Strange. I think they've got a hot hand with this one. Like they know they have a good movie.
A hit and a hot hand.
Imagine.
Otherwise, if they didn't have faith in this movie, they would have canceled it because of because of the controversy.
Right.
You know what's like the biggest thing that gives me hope for it? And it's like such a weird, like unimportant thing. Well, to me, it's important. It's the fact that they changed the lightning from blue to gold. Like the yellow gold lightning.
Just
that's
little
just
touches.
It's the signature look. It's the signature color. I don't know what. I'm sorry, Zack Snyder. I don't know what you were doing with the weird, like ice skating Flash in the blue
Just trying to be
lightning.
Quicksilver.
Like it's
Blue
just
is hotter than
Even
than
before
yellow.
Ezra Miller was a poison pill, I just didn't see him as Barry Allen.
yeah.
so I
That's
still
me.
don't
Me
know.
too. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But I think that this movie is going to be pretty huge.
I think
not at all.
I think it's a lot of negative production stuff battling against a lot of positive,
Yeah.
the movie's good buzz, and then having just the Michael Keaton factor, the Ben Affleck factor, the fun of having other Batmans interacting in there as well.
Finally killing the whatever DC universe has been going on and rebooting it.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think
it
it's
could
new
do that
beginnings.
because I think this is the Flashpoint movie where it's
Yeah.
all that
Well,
stuff's happening.
I'm going to shout out Blue Beetle at this point because we haven't talked about it, but I saw the trailer and it looks way better than the Flash in my opinion.
I think
I
Blue
disagree.
Beetle.
I
Blue
don't-
Beetle,
I don't care.
Go ahead.
I think it looks like
Yeah.
Teen Wolf the movie,
It
but
looks-
Blue Beetle.
I think Blue
Teen
Beetle is
Wolf?
kind of the same as like Shang-Chi in my mind, where it's just it's something that everyone's going to say like, oh yeah, that was good, but it's not going to hold.
Shang-Chi did really well.
Well, I know it
And
did
Shang-Chi
really well,
is great.
but it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't. I'm thinking of it from the perspective of this is another DC iteration of something that's
Yeah.
kind of like Shang-Chi. So
Well-
it's already kind of,
It's niche.
yeah.
Yeah.
It looked better than
Blue Beetle-
all the other DC movies to me.
If they can make Blue Beetle a mainstream character, that'd be awesome. I think
It
he's
would
got a
be.
super cool character arc. I mean, take basically Venom from
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
I said the
Venom
same
and
thing in the
Iron Man
trailer.
together.
Yeah.
Well,
think
I've
with-
known Blue Beetle
Good.
since Infamous, like
Right.
the fighting games and stuff. So he's got a really cool backstory, and I'm glad he's getting some limelight here. But the production value is obviously less budgeted.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope it does well.
And David, I agree that the movie looks good.
Yeah.
I just think the Flash looks really good.
I don't know if we watched the same trailer.
Maybe
So,
we didn't.
I think there is an element of like people are just so overwhelmed with introducing so many new superheroes that I think they're lacking energy in putting their viewership into a new one.
Yeah.
I think that's how
I agree.
I'm
That's
feeling
why it's
about
not on
it.
my list.
Can I say I cringe so hard in any trailer where the main protagonist is like, I'm a superhero.
Yeah.
Like he's self-aware. Like, can we just
Well, I said Infamous, I meant to say Injustice.
Yeah, I think I
Gotcha.
knew what you
Yeah.
meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a fun character. I love the Blue Beetle character too.
Yeah.
And the costume, I think they did a good job
It
with the
looks
costume.
cool.
When I saw the trailer, I was thinking, man, I wish this came out like a few years before.
Yeah.
Because this could be really good.
It needed to come out like 6 months after the first Shazam, where like DC's finding
Yes.
the
Right,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like it's connected to the Shazam world.
Yeah.
that area. Yeah.
All right, so positive vibes to DC. I hope these both are good and are successful. Let's say that.
Is Blue Beetle part of?
It's DC.
No, I know it's DC, but is it part of official DC with
I heard a rumor
James
that
Gunn, or is it not?
I heard a rumor that it is the first DCU movie with James Gunn.
Okay,
like
cool.
he saw it and he
I can
really
see that.
likes it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Where are we? I just did Flash at number 7. Okay,
Yes, I think we're on 5.
Yeah, we're on 5
5. Oh,
because I just did Guardians of the
oh
Galaxy.
yeah, sorry, 6. Yeah, AJ, what is your number 5?
All right. I have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse here. I want this to do well. I am optimistic for it. I think that people have grown an appreciation for this movie. It is also kind of the first movie of what I would call the true summer season. It's the beginning of June, so school has just ended for people going to school. This is like the first kind of animated thing. So
Good point.
what's the first thing you do when you get out of school? Okay, so what's playing now? People
Yeah.
have time to actually enjoy their summer break or whatnot. And it's playing against like the Boogeyman or whatever it was. So there's not a lot of competition there. I think it's in a kind
Yeah.
of a prime spot to really help that out. I really want it to do well.
Yeah. Horror movies are traditionally not a huge competition.
Then every now and then they'll break out. Which
Every now and then,
I'm
but it's
concerned
rare.
that one of these horror movies that I'm like thinking is not going to do well will just magically do well.
Haunted
Yeah,
Mansion.
Evil Dead Rise was almost a dark horse for me. I didn't know.
It
Yeah.
was for me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we remember Black Phone last year almost cracked its way into the top 10.
I do think though that there is the factor of limited age range watching these movies. Like
Yeah.
that does logistically factor into these things. I
Yeah.
don't think there's a wide group of people that are going to be able to see Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah. Good pick at number. Honestly, upon reflection, I might have put it that high, AJ. That's kind of like my feeling is that this one's just. It's got. I don't know. It's just got a high ceiling. I feel like, and
Yeah, it does.
yeah. David, what is your number 5?
Wahoo!
Mario.
Number 5, Mario, Super Mario Brothers, Melee. All right. This one was weird because there's a lot of positive factors involved. There are a lot of big names: Jack Black, Chris Pratt, amongst others. It is a big Illumination movie, which tend to do well. I just don't think it looks like it's going to be the biggest hit of the summer. So I didn't know where to put it. So it seemed safe to put it in the middle of the list at
What
5.
about the biggest hit of spring? Because that's when it's releasing.
Yeah, it's got a lot of time. That's also another factor.
The thing you got to consider with Super Mario, which factored into my placing of it, which I will not reveal where it is that it has a massive runway before Guardians of the Galaxy.
We talked about this last year, and you told me that timing of release shouldn't factor into it.
What do you mean?
Well, last year I was like, well, what if there's a movie that I think will do well, but it's in like July versus, April?
No. So the ones late, you got to think more about how much it gets cut off at the tail end by Labor Day, because that's the cutoff time, which I didn't say yet. But like August movies are risky to pick unless you know they're going to be gigantic,
Right.
because they usually only have like a month to play.
Yeah.
So
But if Super Mario Brothers actually releases this early and continues to build up week after week, it has a longer runway than most, so that is true. But yeah, I think 5 is a safe bet. I do think it might be higher, but I think this is a safe bet.
yep, still pretty high.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Irina, what is your 5?
My 5 is AJ's. So that has 2 movies that we've both agreed on in placement.
Spider-Man?
Spider-Verse. I have faith in this
You have
movie,
lots of faith.
and I want to see it succeed. So I'm putting it at 5.
All right. You think it's going to do better than the first?
I think because the first one, the reason I don't think it did as well is because it was slow to get the word across. Even when I saw it, I hadn't seen a lot of hype for it. Like I had watched it sort of, it almost seemed like a last minute thing. Like someone had told me, hey, we're watching Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And I was like, okay, well, the Spider-Man thing has been sort of saturated lately. So I don't know about this. I watched it and I was so impressed.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's amazing what they were able to accomplish with people already being so into the Spider-Man verse already.
It was just like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. And
for
so
animated movies, it's like a 10 out of 10.
yeah. And I mean, I've seen threads where people have still talked about this movie as if it was just released still. So I'm having high hopes for this new movie that a lot of people are geared up to watch it. And those who loved the first one, even after it had been out of theaters, I'm hoping are going to show up for this one.
Yeah. All right. Noah, number 5.
All right, guys. Here's where I guess we start getting controversial. Though this might not be controversial, but Mission Impossible is my number 5.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I just think it's going to make a lot of money, but Mission Impossible generally gets within a certain range that's not like super duper high. But I think this will be higher than its average range. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think right around here is where it's going to lie.
Okay.
So it gets a little boost from Top Gun,
Yes, definitely.
but not enough to get it like to the top.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
the
my
Top
opinion.
Gun.
To the top. The tip of the top.
All right. My number 5, let's go back to my list here, is Indiana Jones 5. I think this movie does slightly under the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which I think did around 300 plus million. I think there's enough excitement for this franchise. It has enough like built-in audience for people to, people are just going to show up because of the name. And I think it will be better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I don't know if it'll be as good as the first 3. But I see this being a more satisfying close to the series and kind of rebuilding back some of that faith in the franchise, but not. I don't think it's going to be amazing. Like word of mouth for the trailers has been mixed. Like some people were really excited for it. Some people are like, "Oh no, it's going to be another Kingdom of the Crystal Skull situation."
Right.
I think it's going to be good. I think it will be good.
Yeah.
And that's why I have it in the top 5, because I think it will get solid word of mouth, but but not be a Star Wars or
Right.
like it should be, like a really bringing people in.
It sounds like I agree with your perspective. We
Yeah.
just have it in different places.
Yeah. Definitely don't think it's going to be a disaster though. So
Right.
Indy 5 at 5 appropriately. AJ, we're getting into the top tiers here. What's your number 4?
Oh boy. All right. This is where things get a little
Hot
weird
takes.
for me.
I knew it.
Hot takes.
Same.
Top 5 is going to be weird for everybody, I
Yep.
think.
I have Renfield.
Oh, whoa.
Interesting.
I am digging deep and betting hard. And
Wow.
I don't know. Let's have
Dude,
fun with
I'm
it.
impressed. Yeah.
Honestly, I hope so. I don't think so, but I hope so.
I have had. Here's what. Like, I first heard about this movie from a couple people like asking me about movies and stuff, and they're talking about this before I even saw trailers for it. And they're not necessarily movie people themselves. I think just the Nicolas Cage factor is hit or miss. I mean,
Yeah.
massive talent. We saw that with the last year. I don't know where this is going to lie, but I get like, the action vibe from this. I think that can really land.
Right. Yeah.
And the Dracula, the quirkiness of it, it kind of hits all the variety of notes that I think it could really pull it off and kind of be a huge dark horse coming out.
Nicholas Hoult looks like he's doing the Warm Bodies thing too,
Right.
where it's like that.
Yeah, and almost like an Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter kind of action
Right.
energy, which I love. And I don't know, secret weapon or what my methodology going into this list. I went on YouTube and looked at all the trailers for all these movies, and I noted down how many views each
I
of
did
these
that
trailers
too.
had.
I did
Renfield
not.
has the top of this entire list by a good margin. 45, and this I cut it off at like 6 months. A relatively recent trailer, the main trailer for Renfield, 45 million views.
Wow.
That is astronomical. Oppenheimer actually has a decent amount, 39. Fast X 36, Spider-Man 32, Transformers at 31, and then Mario at 19. I got that was my dipstick. Flash at 15. Little Mermaid at 12. So 45 million people have an interest in Renfield. I think that will translate over to some views and some box office
Right.
numbers. So I don't know. It's risky. It's bold, but I'm happy to do it. We'll see how it goes.
Hey, I like some bold, spicy picks on this list. I was not brave enough.
Yeah. Not to mention, it's kind of in this weird spot where we have Mario early on in early April now.
Right.
But then it's, maybe next week or two, and it's not up against a huge amount of things. Maybe the Pope's
Yeah.
Exorcist. But
Very little competition for this one. It gets at least 2 to 3 weeks.
By the way,
It's just
Yeah.
gonna. Oh, go ahead.
Pope's Exorcist is not on my list, but I do want to see it.
It looks fun.
Yeah,
It does. It does look fun. But yeah, I think it all hinges on the fact too of whether it's actually good or not. Like it has
Yeah.
to be like really good.
So far,
If
only
it-
10
if it's
reviews in,
good-
but it has a 90%.
Dang.
Dang,
Yeah.
nice.
if
I
it's
am
good,
gonna
it's going to
watch
be
it.
one of those word of mouth, like you have to go see this movie.
Yeah,
People are gonna
exactly.
Be talking about it.
That's why it's in my dark horse. I'm glad you put it so high because I'm.
And you put extra stock in
I
it.
did,
Yep.
did. So I'm hoping that there's some truth in it.
All right. Very bold prediction for Renfield at number 4. David, your turn for your number 4 pick. Let's hear it.
My number 4 pick is Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
This is another movie that I know is a part of a large franchise with a big name that can do well. It's a safe bet.
Yes.
I think that in the middle of the list, it is a safe bet. I don't think it's going to do top of the top numbers, but it could. That's the Tom Cruise effect cannot be.
How many
This
times
way.
have we seen that jump? That
I know.
crazy
Yeah.
jump, and
I
how
know.
everyone's talking
Yeah.
about it.
Which is why if it goes higher, I would be surprised. I would be even more surprised if it did worse than I think.
Yeah.
So I just think that, what is it, 4 that we're at now? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is a safe 4 pick.
All right.
You know how people talk about getting starstruck when they see celebrities and things? I think with Tom Cruise, I would actually get frightened.
He's got the crazy
I don't,
eyes.
I
man.
don't
He's
know what he's
Scientologist.
going to do.
He's a Scientologist. Yeah, that's what AJ said.
Yeah,
What are you gonna do? He's
He's
so
a fo-
intense too.
He's a force of nature.
I told someone once I would not want to be his friend because I don't know what he would get me into.
Apparently, Brad Pitt hated working with him because everything seemed like a competition.
Oh no.
Are you talking about
Interview
like
with the
yep,
Vampire?
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh no!
And I would say he won. Like
Yeah.
Tom Cruise won that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
In what way?
He was much more compelling to watch than Brad Pitt in
I
that
agree.
movie.
Well, yeah, in that movie, yes,
Well,
I
also,
agree.
I would say the way the characters are written, it's kind of works against Brad Pitt's favor
Yeah.
because his character is a bit,
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. If it was like in feats of stuff outside of filming, it could be a little more. No, Tom Cruise would win.
No, Tom Cruise
He would
would win.
No, he would win.
he has no fear.
No, he would literally throw himself off a building.
He did.
Yeah,
Oh, wait a
multiple
second.
times, several times.
Hey, if you haven't known about the new Mission Impossible, he rides a motorcycle off a cliff.
That's
so.
just a regular
A
morning
real
for
motorcycle.
Yeah, he just gets his cup of coffee, then jumps
Drives
off a
off a
cliff.
hill.
And they review and they're like, not good enough. Do it again.
Arena, what's your 4?
My 4 is Oppenheimer. I don't know. I just have a feeling none of my choices are based on any kind of
You have
research
faith in humanity.
because I'm too lazy to do that. I really don't care. So I'm basically my only research was I sat down, I watched a trailer, and I'm like, either meh or yeah.
Am I gonna watch this?
Yeah, exactly. So Oppenheimer, I think there has been quite a bit of buzz around it. Christopher Nolan never fails. I don't know. I think a lot of people are going to show up for this one. I do agree that because of the genre of this film, it may not be as appealing to a larger audience
Yeah.
as
I think
a lot of
audiences
the
are going to be kind of split on this one.
exactly. But I think those that
what I
do
mean.
go are going to love
Are
it.
they going to split the atom, though?
That's the joke I was
Oh,
making.
sorry.
Yeah.
I think a lot of my choices are more from I guess I can't separate the critic perspective from
Yeah.
the audience. I think that's my problem is I think I look at these from a critic perspective and that's where my gut goes. So yeah. I'm
4.
I'm okay with that.
I've been looking at these on like a hype perspective.
Yeah.
Like, are people going to be hyped to see this?
I
yeah,
think there's a
probably
lot of
for
hype
this.
for Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
There is.
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
I like it. Oppenheimer. Noah, what is your 4?
My 4. My number 4 is Indiana Jones.
All right.
Jonesin' for some Indiana. And yeah, my thoughts are, similar to yours. I think this is, all the people that lost faith after watching Indiana Jones. It's another one of those like they're
Crystal
bringing
Skull
it
again.
back types
Yeah.
of things. They're like this is the one. Like, please give me my Indiana. Like, if you watch the trailer, they do that old Indiana Jones theme that rekindles that spirit.
Bum,
Where
ba-dum,
it's, where it's
bum.
slightly slowed down.
Bum,
Yes, a little bit.
Raiders
Yeah,
March.
exactly.
With these dramatic, like, big drum
Bum,
noises
ba-dum,
in the background.
Okay.
Yep.
I
You love those, right?
I
Arena?
hate
Okay.
it. I'm so tired of it.
I
They've
was
been
gonna
doing
say
it-
that.
They've been
I was
doing
gonna
it
say
for
that.
5 years now.
You just
stop.
most got triggered.
the most.
Yeah.
Wow,
They did it-
Arena is
no,
I was gonna
exploding.
go on a
They
rant
did it
about
with
this too.
Mario, and I was like, "Can you stop?"
Dun, dun,
Here-
dun, 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 dun.
yeah,
I know. I'm like, why does that
They-
need to be here?
they always do the dun 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 dun.
I know.
Like it's like it's either 3 or 4 of them,
It's
and it's like bullets will be going off, and it'll be like slowed down and made loud. The dun, 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 dun.
oh, it makes
and,
me so
and
mad.
every trailer,
I think
every trailer.
when I think about it, it's like they all loved what The Dark Knight did with their trailers, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we need to do that.
Christopher Nolan.
And actually, when you think about it, you could go back to Terminator with dun 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 dun.
Yeah, exactly.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yep.
Why Super
One
Mario?
exception
Why
with
do
the
you need that?
blah.
Yeah. Wah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's what I think though about Indiana Jones. They're rekindling the nostalgia. They're hyping it up as kind of, again, the last one, and there's just a lot of that going into it, and I think it's going to be big enough to get people to go in, because it's been long enough that they're like, I'll give it another try.
They washed the crystal skull out of their mouth.
I honestly don't think it's
Are you
been
saying
washed
they've
out.
been sucking on it for a while?
Here's what I think. I think people are still hurt.
I'm still hurt.
Yeah, me exactly. I think people are still hurt by Crystal Skull, and that's why this one's going to do well. Because I think they're so hurt, they're like, this one must not be good, or
Please.
please let it be.
Put the balm
Good.
on my wounds.
Yeah,
Heal
PTSD.
me.
Exactly. give me Indiana Jones,
Or give me death.
the real.
But then,
Indiana
then there's the
Jones.
people though that look at it as like, ugh, it looks like more of Crystal.
It doesn't though. It
It
doesn't.
doesn't. I agree, it doesn't. But
Yeah, there is that, but I think
They have said there are no aliens in it.
Yeah.
yeah, there
Thank you.
that's good of them to say. honestly.
actually, no, I'm kidding.
Harrison Ford said that.
But I think that there's a lot of people, like me, that are going to go and watch it, and then if it's good, and I hope it is,
Word
if
of
it's
mouth.
good, word of mouth, and everyone will see it.
Fun fact, guys. I did hear that the Nazis are involved with aliens. So sorry.
Sorry.
In real life, or
Both.
okay, that's crazy.
Too much ancient aliens, man.
My number 4 is The Little Mermaid.
Oh wow.
And my comp for this is
Mein Kampf? What?
my comparison.
Aliens.
A book I quite recommend. I'm just kidding. I do not recommend that book. Sorry, I have not read it. I have not touched it. No, The Little Mermaid, and this is strictly based off of how successful Aladdin was, how successful Beauty and the Beast was, how successful, and I'm talking about the remakes, Jungle Book was, how successful
King.
the Lion King remake was. By the way, the Lion King remake is a shot-for-shot remake of The Lion King with photorealistic lions that cannot emote, yet they sing. Like, it is so awkward to watch. It is not a good movie. So what I'm thinking is Little Mermaid is one of the biggest Disney Renaissance films. Strictly off name alone, whether it is good or not, it is making that money.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to go see this. It is
Insert
the
Little
kids
Dicky.
movie of that month. Like, as we already noted, no competition. It's The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Disney's The Little Mermaid with all the songs.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah. Do you know how many girls spent their time swimming in pools pretending to push themselves out of the water like
Yeah.
the Little Mermaid?
I did that.
Yeah.
This
Coming
is
in here
gonna
with
this is
forks.
gonna be big.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I have it this high. It's going to be huge. I have it at 300 million, and I think that's conservative. I think it's going higher. Like,
I think you might be right.
yeah. So that is my number 4. Next up, we're into number 3. The top 3s, you guys. AJ, what is your number 3?
I have Mission Impossible, whatever the subtitle is, at number 3.
Dead
Reckoning.
Honestly, I didn't even know there was another Mission Impossible coming out this year, but that's just me. I know Fallout had a huge drive up to it, and I know
Yep.
it did a lot really well, a significant box office. So, we've got that factored in to kind of pump energy into the franchise, as well as the success of Top Gun Maverick. It's a Mission Impossible movie. It's going to get butts in seats.
Totally agree with you there on that one. And again, I want to emphasize the Top Gun Maverick bump. I think Tom Cruise's star has risen even higher since.
Yeah.
Yes. I think
yeah.
he's bigger than he's ever been, honestly.
Yeah, weirdly, yeah.
Yeah.
In a specific role, though, when he's
At
doing
5 foot.
stunts and entertaining
Yeah.
in that specific
He's-
way.
When you think of what is the American hero, he's one of the faces
Yep.
that is conjured, like because of the roles he represents.
Some people say he shouldn't be the last samurai, but the last movie star.
Yeah.
We can't handle the truth.
He is like one of the movie stars that is like
the few one that gets the butts in the seats. Like it's like, oh yeah, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he is on this era's Mount Rushmore of, top actors.
Well, the thing is, like, it's one of those things where everyone's whispering to each other. Oh, he does his own stunts.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
everyone talks about that.
And
does his own stunts.
not only does he do his own stunts, he does absolutely ludicrous stunts.
Yeah.
You know what they say about his movies, though, right? They're all perfect.
Perfect. Perfection.
Perfect in every way.
I think that
and it's ruined.
I'm missing out on something. What
I don't know
was-
his reference,
What were
but
you
I get a Mad
referencing?
Max
Last
reference.
Samurai.
Oh,
good.
okay.
They are
Good
all
for
perfect.
you.
Kudos, I love you.
Good
Thank
for
you.
you.
David, what is your number 3?
If I think top 3 movies, what company is going to be in that top 3?
Disney.
Disney.
Little
Disney's
Mermaid?
going to be in the top 3, and Little Mermaid's going to bring those
Yeah.
numbers, baby.
Oh, so you're in line with me here. Yep.
Yeah, you know,
I think it's going to happen, man.
hot take. I think there's a lot of bad press around Disney these days. I think
Still
a lot
Disney.
I know.
Bad press on Disney
think
is
there's
still
still-
better than most companies.
I will
It's not just bad press. It's more that people have a thought about them that they've been consistently not putting out good movies.
I think AJ said this earlier. I think there is an insular bubble that we tend to sort of hear this echo chamber. And I agree, they're not good. I don't like any of the remakes except for maybe Cinderella.
and Jungle Book. I liked the Jungle
I didn't
Book.
see the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
But everything else I have been super underwhelmed by. I don't
Mulan's okay, and so is Cruella.
I
I'll
didn't
give it-
I
I'll
didn't
give
like
those.
Mulan at all.
I think Mulan is terrible.
Yeah.
How well did Cruella do?
Point Cruella, I don't know, not great.
I actually didn't see it.
I didn't either.
Point is, I'm not saying I like the movie. I don't think I'm going to like The Little Mermaid. I think that it's going to do well. I think that people will go to movies, put butts in seats, especially if uncontested, which I can see that happening with Little Mermaid. What movie is going to want to go, that's the movie I want to fight against?
It's just the title alone. It's the
Yeah.
Little Mermaid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
it's
getting
You're
its
gonna
own
see it.
theater. It's getting
Yeah.
its own weekend. It's going to get its own thing. I think that it's going to make money, and I don't have enough confidence to put to number 1, but it's going to do it.
I think it's gonna make money too. I just
Oh, and it's Rob Marshall,
Top
who's
three, though?
he's not a great director, but he's a good director of music
Choreography.
and choreography. Yes.
And let's put it this way.
Chicago.
If it is an actual good movie, which
Yeah.
it's hard to say if it will or won't be because I don't care for most of them, but if it is good, I think that'll skyrocket it.
Yeah, or at least like on the Beauty and the Beast level, which
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good movie, but it is like competent.
It's not a bad movie. It's just not a good
Yeah.
movie.
I just
just
cannot get over the auto tune with the first song.
Yeah,
It
and
was
my tea leaves are reading.
It just doesn't seem bright and vibrant. Like when I think of Little Mermaid, the animated one, just like colors and
yeah.
Yeah. It's darker, and the,
didn't- I
the
didn't feel
poster
the energy.
especially got some criticism for that.
The movie's
For
got
not
color.
being as vibrant.
As vibrant, yeah.
not having phallic imagery in it.
You kind of.
Yeah.
You might want to.
You might want to rethink that. You need some
Subtext.
more phallic energy in this. Bring in the boy audience.
Fun stuff. So
Little Mermaid number 3.
So so fun fact, 2 of us have shot this to the top, and 2 of us, I think, so far have plunged it down to the bottom.
To the depths.
That I'm interested. This
Under the
is
sea.
really really interesting so far.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think it's going to flounder.
This is already so much different than last year's list, though, where we have like, I feel like mostly we were kind of more or less in line.
Yeah.
This one, we
were.
have very diverse opinions about certain specific movies.
Yeah.
Arena.
My
What is your number
third
3?
is Mario Brothers.
All right.
Yeah, that's probably where I would
I think
shift mine too.
I think Mario is a huge staple, and the fact that they made all the characters look like the originals, or not the originals, but the obviously the originals aren't. Yeah, but what everyone knows Mario and his group to look like are in this movie. And regardless of what the plot is, how good it is, they just want to see them
Yeah.
in action. So I put all my faith in that. I think it's going to just keep going, kids don't care, you know, if the plot is good or not. They're just happy to see them on the big screen. So I think this is going to last.
I have
for
a
a bit.
theory. I haven't watched the movie yet, obviously.
Uh-huh.
I bet you that the next movie is going to be a Bowser movie.
Oh, really?
I
Because of
bet
Jack
you,
Black,
like 5 years from now, we're going to see a Bowser movie.
his
having-
side of things.
Having seen it, I think it's going to be a sequel to the Super Mario Brothers movie, but it's going to be a Super Smash Brothers movie.
Oh, that would, like a
That
brawl.
would be pretty good.
That would
yeah.
be interesting.
Cap-
That's a
Capitalize
lot
on
of
that.
licenses to wrangle.
Lego
Okay.
movie. And
I want John Leguizamo playing Luigi, and then we'll call it a day.
Yeah.
I would say
No, I think
Mario.
they could go Yoshi.
I think Mario for me is a huge blind spot because we didn't really grow up with Nintendo. We didn't play a lot of Mario.
As Resident Evil and Gears of War and
Yeah.
Even pre
everything
that.
bloody.
I
I'm
always
just joking.
associated it with my cousins because they did have Nintendo, and I wasn't really into the competition games either.
Yeah.
So
But just by
I'm not in on the crowd, but
even
I know the hype.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's how you know how big it is because we're not even in that circle and we know it's
Yeah,
big.
exactly. We
Yeah.
know it's huge.
They could have totally gone like the cinematic universe route with Smash Bros. And just like develop a bunch of different stories and then combine them, and it's like a Nintendo Mortal Kombat.
You know that somebody's pitched
I
that,
fully
and I
think-
guarantee that there's somebody in Japan who said no.
Noah, I
Well-
fully think there's plans for a universe here.
Really?
Yeah, and I
It's
think
happening.
also that I think the writing's on the wall for the comic book heroes. It's dwindling, so the next big thing is video games, and
yeah, exactly.
you know, we've had good video game movies recently, Sonic
And TV shows.
Yeah.
Yep.
so-
Yeah.
Sonic, Last of Us.
Let's go, video games.
All right. Noah, what is your 3?
All right.
While he's waiting, I want to get one last pun out while I missed my chance earlier. I think Little Mermaid's going to have legs.
Good one. I wish you had if
I
you
don't
had
think it's gonna
incorporated
go
that
very
naturally
swimmingly.
into the conversation. it
There
would've
were,
been amazing.
I realized after the fact no one else was going to bring it up, so I had to shoot my shot.
I like it. I appreciate. I'll leave it in.
But will its voice last?
All right. Well, my number 3, Transformers.
Whoa,
Dang.
Big call, baby.
that's a big swing, Noah.
like it.
Why does this feel like a poker game where you just like
Whoa.
put all your
I
chips in?
just feel like that.
Everyone's like, whoa.
What does he have in his hand?
Cowboys.
Does he know
Anyways.
something I don't?
I think this is going to be one of those weird movies where people are like, hell yeah, let's go watch Transformers.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's,
You think it gets good buzz in reviews?
yeah, I think it gets good buzz, good reviews, because Bumblebee was like a really good movie, right?
Yep.
Now people are thinking, okay, Bumblebee, but it's all of them.
Yeah.
And it's Optimus Prime, and it's
Gorilla Man.
metal gorillas.
What I will say, the one thing I have in your favor, while I do think this is too high, it does seem to
Just you wait.
It does seem to abandon the Bay through line, and I think this one takes place in a more retro, older time, like after Bumblebee versus after Transformers 5. Yeah, there's
Yeah. So here's also my thought on this. It's been long enough since Michael Bay that people are able to like break that association, but they still can think of it, right?
Yeah,
And they're thinking, okay, Transformers, but good
but good.
and like crazy. And people want to watch another Transformers movie. I do.
Yeah,
I bet a lot of
do.
people are going to be thinking about the hype,
yeah.
right? And thinking this is going to be a crazy thing.
I agree. I would say that while Michael Bay did suck with a lot of them, the first one I do remember having a good time.
Yeah,
Kinda,
it's fun.
I kind of liked the third one too.
I don't
The-
remember the
That's the
first.
Okay.
Chicago one where
Here's the thing
Still
about
don't
Transformers.
remember.
They all suck, but they're all fun.
Which one had the Linkin Park song? The Great
The
Divide?
first one.
The first one.
Was that the first one? No,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't.
That was the third
It
one.
was the third one. It was the third
Second
one.
one. Second one too.
Wait,
Okay,
wait.
no.
Which song are you thinking?
The Great Divide. I said it. It's
Of?
not.
Oh, I was thinking Minutes to Midnight, which is in the
Honestly,
first one.
honestly, I think it's the bad one. I think it's the second one that had
Okay.
that.
I just know it wasn't the first one. That's all I know.
The first one does have a Linkin Park song.
But not the one I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, 3. I think it's going to be huge.
Dang.
I just do.
All right.
I
I think
respect
that
it.
is
I
your
respect it.
Noah, out of all your picks so far, that is your boldest. AJ's boldest.
Ballsy.
AJ's boldest is Renfield
Yeah.
so far. David, I don't know if you
Mine are my dark horses.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a really ballsy
Oh,
one.
she does. She does. Just you wait.
Oh, I'm
Just you wait.
You don't even know.
Oh, a really ballsy
I'm
one.
intrigued now.
When she told me, I was like, oh, I'm not going to say anything.
All right. My number 3. We're on 3 now, right? Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. I have it 3.
There you
Okay.
go.
This movie, if you look at the Mission Impossible franchise, it's only gone up. Ghost Protocol did slightly better than its sequel, but other than that, the movies have gone up. Fallout's the highest grossing of the franchise. It is a very healthy franchise that is just seeing increase after increase. And then you've got that Top Gun Maverick 1-2 punch. People are officially... I think there was still some like trepidation to get back on the Tom Cruise train. Everyone was like, oh, we'll watch the Mission Impossibles and that'll be it. And all the other stuff he does, who gives a crap? I don't care.
He's weird. He's a
weird.
Scientologist.
But then he did Top Gun Maverick, and I think that shot him into the stratosphere. That movie
Yeah.
was so
It did.
huge. No one saw it coming, and it just was massive.
I saw it coming. I put it at number
You did.
2.
That's true. That's true. But it got number 1.
Yeah, I know.
Like, no one
was close.
No one. Yeah, I was close. Yeah, no one saw that coming. So I think by that alone, that gives Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning at least 100 million more over Fallout, which did
Yeah.
about 210 million.
That's
Like, just to give
precisely
you an
my
idea.
yeah.
Top Gun Maverick did 700 plus million,
It's amazing.
and I attribute that
Domestically?
domestically. Yes.
Jeez.
Yeah, it is like stratospheric. It beat Avatar 2, like which everyone.
crazy.
It is the number 1 domestic movie of last year by like easily.
Wait, I thought domestically. I saw
Domestically.
overall that
Yeah.
Avatar
Yeah,
beat
Fallout was like 700 something worldwide.
Yes. So I think I think this is the Tom Cruise X Factor juice into this movie lifts it up to this third.
If only
spot
Tom
here.
Cruise was in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Dude, if they brought him in, like it would be the biggest like cheer moment.
Dude.
Well, tell me if he does not fit in that
Dude.
franchise.
He would, but then he doesn't
Can't
because
see over
not
the
a lot of
steering
those are
wheel.
practically done.
But he comes in with like a plane.
yeah.
No. He would be driving a freaking Formula One car.
Yeah,
no,
he'd do
but a
something crazy.
plane.
Yes, he
How
could do
about
a
we
plane
just
too.
let that
A jet.
franchise die?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning is going to do very well, and it has everything. Not everything, because it has built itself up on its own to be great, but it has a lot to owe to Top Gun just being in that perfect position to really just help. Top Gun is like a trampoline, like where the movie's just running along, it's doing great, and then suddenly there's this trampoline that just helps it get
Boing.
to this like,
I even think it had its own personal buzz for Mission
It
Impossible.
did. That's
Yeah.
why this is like I see the chemicals and the chemistry coming together to make this thing like, oh, this could be big. I don't think it's gonna be Top Gun big.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it could be like I think it will easily
Yeah.
be the biggest Mission Impossible movie.
I think it will be. I agree.
I have it for the numbers if y'all are curious. I have it at 310 million, but I think it could do even better.
And that's domestic.
I would love if you showed your estimations in our wrap up of this.
Okay,
to
I will.
see how close
I'll
you
keep.
got.
I'll keep them. I have all of them.
I think
here.
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that you're lowballing a lot of the top 10 this year.
I'm being safe. I'm
Yeah.
playing it safe. I know I should like go for it.
I
but
feel like this year's going to be big.
I was feeling that way too.
I already teased that I feel not confident about my number 1, but we'll see.
I think people are realizing they do like the theater.
Yep.
Like
Oh,
I realized it.
All right,
because
where
because they stopped. I think streaming services are doing great, but I think a lot of people just like watching the new movies in theaters.
I think the thing is they're realizing, hey, movies are for theaters, TV shows are for streaming.
Yes,
like it's just
precisely.
like it should have been. But let's move on to number 2. We're almost in the home stretch here. AJ, what is your number 2?
Another wild card here. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
Shut up. No, shut up.
Okay,
No, he's
okay,
lying.
let him
He's
speak.
lying.
What draws the broad audience, the mass appeal, is a story about girls getting their periods and stuff.
All right.
I know it draws me.
Oh God. Anyway,
There it was.
this was rough. I have Mario here. Super Mario's Brothers
Mario.
movie. I don't know. I think Mario's going to do great. I think it's going to have long legs. It's opening the season. I mean, it debuted on a Tuesday or Wednesday night instead of a Thursday.
Yep.
So it's Mario. Come on, guys. Like,
No, I'm with you.
even if
I
it's
agree.
a mediocre movie, people are going to go see it. It's Illumination. We had,
and it's
look
like
at
the
Minions.
perfect movie to show kids right now.
Yeah, it appeals to the adults that grew up with the games. Appeals to kids because
It is
you know,
4
I mean-
quadrant appeal. Like
It's
everyone's
Yeah, it
it's
is.
like
It is
this
4
year's
quadrant
Jurassic World.
yeah.
It's bigger than Jurassic
Okay,
World.
no,
No.
Jurassic World was
Yeah, David,
extremely huge.
you need to check the numbers on Jurassic.
No, I'm
Nin-
not saying the
Nintendo-
numbers. I'm saying core quadrant wise. I think Mario covers more bases.
You need to
well,
check
no,
the
the point being kids and adults.
yeah.
Love
A-
dinosaurs.
Nintendo is
Yes.
continue.
is protective of their properties, so I don't think they would back something without being fully confident and having a lot of control over it. I don't know about how well Detective Pikachu did box office wise, but it's still an enjoyable movie. I think I would have it even higher if we were talking about worldwide. I think it's going to be massive worldwide, but domestically, I think it's still got a great amount of draw. It's going to be big. I mean, I plan on seeing it. I don't go to the movies a whole lot, so yeah.
You heard it there. AJ plans to get out to go see it, which is rare, which is usually the sign of a big, big movie. David, you're at number 2.
I'm going to play the same rule I played last year with what I thought was going to be big, and no one else believed me other than Irina, who had it even higher. I'm playing nostalgia. What is it, guys?
Mario.
Mario. That's the nostalgia play.
No.
Evil Dead
Indiana
Rise.
Jones, guys.
Oh,
Indiana
yeah.
Jones.
I'm with you.
I forgot
Yeah.
that you hadn't played that yet.
I hadn't. I've been holding my cards with this one. This is, again, we've talked about it. X Factor, unknown. It is hard to place this one because of how badly Crystal Skulls tanked the stock of this franchise.
Yeah.
I think that the trailers look good. Not even as good as I don't even think it looks amazing, personally. But
It's
I
just you think a sheer willpower of the franchise gets it there.
big franchise. It's a big name. And I think it is a 4-quadrant movie. I think that older, if it's good, which I think it's going to be, if it is good, if not great, just like Top Gun Maverick, it's going to get the older generations. They're going to bring their kids because it's going to cover, it's going to be open to, any age group of 10 and older. And they're just going to keep rewatching it if it's good. I think
They're
it
trying
will
to get
be.
the girls on board too because they got Phoebe Waller-Bridge playing like a kind of relative to.
Supposedly
Wow,
the
good
one
job,
taking
Reese.
over the mantle,
Yeah,
possibly.
possibly.
Yeah, point is, it looks like they're gonna, especially if it's the end of the franchise, or hinting at the end of Harrison Ford's part of the franchise, people will see it,
Yeah.
and I think it's gonna bring in way more than we realize.
All right.
Surprise.
A lot of faith put in Indy 5. I don't think that's as bold as Irina, or not Irina, but AJ
It will be
putting-
less bold than Irina's.
AJ putting Renfield up as high and Noah putting Transformers up as high.
Oh,
But it is still.
No, I think mine is very close to what Noah put. I think it's
don't
very
so.
similar.
I think yours is a little safer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I personally don't think it's going to get that high, but I do still see it as a slightly safer
It has more X factor.
position. It has more X factor.
Thank you.
yep.
My number 2,
Number 2.
I put Little Mermaid.
There we go. There we go.
I have a lot of faith in this. I think weirdly, the whole controversy around it is pushing it up higher in my mind.
It's raising its
Yeah. I think it's raising
Awareness.
its appeal. And I think a lot of people are coming out to see it, not just because of the mermaid factor, but to support it.
Okay.
I think that's part of the reason.
I understand, but here's what I think. I think the people that are going to watch Little Mermaid are going to watch it on Disney Plus. It just feels like a Disney Plus
I do
movie.
think so, but I think I'm just imagining all the little parties of girls who are
Yeah.
having birthdays or
Yeah.
get-togethers over the summer who are like,
And-
we're going to get all the kids together. We're going to watch Little Mermaid. Little
Yeah, I
Mermaid
get
is
that.
just such a huge nostalgic
The moms
spot.
who are taking their kids now are the ones who saw Little Mermaid in theaters.
Yeah.
Also, Disney no longer has a short window between theatrical and Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So that is coming out on Disney Plus
I
like
think-
3 months later.
Oh, it
Not-
is.
To me,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
like
I thought they
I
were doing it at the same time.
No.
I know we've
Nope.
mentioned Beauty and the Beast already, but Beauty and the Beast was not as much of a heavy hitter as Little Mermaid was. I think Beauty and the Beast is huge for a lot of
Yeah.
girls,
And Beauty and the Beast did 500 million
Yeah.
domestically.
and it was amazing. But Little Mermaid, I think, has been just such a blanket, like sweeping
yeah.
heroine story for so many girls, you know, just across the globe.
Yeah.
So, when girls have been obsessed with mermaids for as long as you can remember, and
Sailors,
I think,
too.
Reading,
Yeah, yeah. Reading is whatever, and being
Becoming
into
a
beasts
princess,
is
that's where it's at.
weird. Yeah, but I think that there are so many women I know that had mermaid like fantasies growing up, thinking like, oh,
Yeah.
I want to be a mermaid.
Didn't
and-
you have a Little Mermaid?
Oh
No.
yeah, I did.
had a Little
I had
Mermaid
a Little
cake.
Mermaid cake as a girl. Like I have no doubt this movie I think is going to do much better than Beauty and the Beast did.
That's big.
Just to give you an idea what Beauty and the Beast did, 504 million.
Yeah, it's amazing.
domestically. Domestic.
I think Irina might be onto something.
I
No,
will-
I
just
mean
for
we'll see, but
The Lion King remake, as awful as it was, made 543 million
Yeah.
domestic. Aladdin. I know we have mixed feelings on that one. AJ, I think you like that one. I think it's okay. Aladdin did 355 million.
That's good.
yeah.
You think Little Mermaid's gonna make under that?
Yeah.
Nope.
Like,
So Little Mermaid is a heavy hitter already for people who loved that movie and grew up on it. Think about girls that didn't grow up on it and are, you know, pretty young.
This-
Mermaid, just being a mermaid alone is a huge factor.
I'm gonna tell you this: Super Mario Brothers is the dads who grew up playing Mario games taking their sons to see the
Yeah.
Super Mario movie. Little Mermaid is moms who grew up watching Little Mermaid taking their daughters to see
Exactly.
the Little Mermaid.
So I
Hey.
think this is going to do well.
Yeah.
hey David,
Yeah.
you want to trade perks?
Well, you know what's funny you say that, guys. What am I holding right now?
Swap.
I'm
one.
holding my perk right now because I was about to make a joke to Noah, and I was about to say, "Hey Noah, do you want to trade perks?" Literally, after you said that, I was already holding
Guys,
it, ready to
can
say
I
that.
say-
Nah,
and-
I'm
and-
holding to mine.
If y'all want to trade perks, I will allow it. If there's if you think one perk's gonna work better for you and the other will also benefit that person, I'll allow perks.
No,
I'm keeping mine.
No,
I'm
I'm
keeping
keeping mine because specifically, I don't know between Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Mm.
That's a tough one for
I
me.
don't know if mine's going to help me, but I'm going to keep it.
All right. Noah, what is your number 2?
My number 2, Fast X.
Wow.
Look at that,
Dang, you
dude.
put that
Noah's.
high.
If you get these correct, Noah, you are going to win by
Dang,
a
man.
landslide.
He's either gonna lose hard or
Hey.
win hard.
Yep.
Hey, that's how it is.
I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah. I think Fast X is like, you know, it's Fast X. They always make over $1 billion. Like, overall,
The last one
Slow,
But
slow your
pandemic.
roll.
Not since the pandemic, but like, come on.
It's a big franchise.
Yeah, they're gonna make a lot of money.
My only
Family.
trepidation with you is they do very well domestically,
Yeah.
but their mass like amount of money that they make is overseas.
All right,
So-
we'll see, guys.
Yep, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, we're doing overall, right? Not just domestic.
no, this is domestic box office.
Really, only
You're
domestic.
just figuring that
Whoops.
You
Well,
know-
I'm still gonna hold by it. I was thinking domestic, or I was thinking
worldwide.
worldwide.
I was too.
but
out. We
I'm
all
still
know
gonna
it's
hold by it.
domestic. That's how it's been, guys. Come on.
I mean, typically
Come on.
when I look at box office numbers, I
always
like
spell
the,
it out.
The total amount.
I feel like it's pretty clear. Fast X though,
Shenanigans.
at number 2.
Yep, I'll still hold by it.
My number 2 is Super Mario Brothers movie.
there it is.
This movie has mainly because I think this movie has just the 1-2 punch of it's going to open really big and it has no competition. It has a month to just bank money before Guardians of the Galaxy. Like it is just going to rack up that dough before it gets out of here. Like and even when Guardians of the Galaxy is out, I still think people are going to be watching it.
Because it's got the
Yeah.
kids' audience.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
yeah,
I mean, the kids will go to see some of the older kids will go to see Guardians
yeah,
of the Galaxy.
but like the young kids.
But yeah, the kiddies are still going to be seeing this one. It's going to generate, even though I've seen reviews and they're mixed, it doesn't matter. Like I think people just go see this movie, and it's, as David said earlier, it's Illumination. They don't miss.
Yep.
As much as I hate that,
And it's a 4-quadrant.
they don't miss. Minions was far and away the biggest animated movie last year. Did 300 plus million in the box office. Super Mario is doing bigger than that. I have it conservatively at 370 million domestic. I think it could go bigger if it develops.
What's your optimistic number?
450?
That's optimistic.
My pessimistic number is 300.
Domestic.
Middle road. I always go middle of the road when I'm doing my projections, and I think 370 is the middle.
Your lowest number guess, like your pessimistic score, is above most of the films we've
Yes,
talked about.
that's why this movie is going to be big.
Ah, crap.
Like, yeah, it's going to be huge.
I put it at number 4, so I'm okay.
Yeah, you're all right.
I wanted to move mine up.
Yeah.
Like after, like right at
One
the
up,
beginning,
huh?
I was like, I wanted to swap it with
It's-
another movie on this list.
It's one of those things where
but
I've just been feeling like you're on the beach and the tide is going away and you're like, oh, what's coming? Like it's like
It's receding back.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and then you see it off in the distance. Oh, it's Super Mario. Like that's like
Oh, it's Sharknado.
yeah, that's what this movie is. But yeah, it's gonna do really well. So I have it at 2, but not quite my number 1, which, as I've said, is I'm not confident.
Bo is afraid.
Yeah.
A24 Joaquin Phoenix, because I know you like Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, Bo is afraid. That's my number 1 because I like Joaquin Phoenix.
Super accessible. Or the Wes Anderson one. Everybody has that.
Asteroid City.
Guys, Joker made $1 billion, so obviously Bo is afraid is gonna be the number 1.
gonna be amazing.
Can we talk about, I know AJ just brought it up as a joke, but it makes me sad that Wes Anderson is finally releasing a new movie, and it's nobody here is
He
representing.
released French Dispatch.
Well,
like,
Tom
just
Hanks
2
is
years
in
ago.
it. Scarlett
they're-
Johansson's in it.
Yeah.
There's more
It's just-
names in this than any of them.
Dude, that movie's gonna do well. But
I know.
it's not gonna be
it's just-
up here.
I know, that's
The
why I didn't
tone
put it
of,
on my
it's the
list.
tone of
I
it.
think he's okay with that.
I think the thing is that there's just a lot of basic people, and they're just not behind this sort of movie.
I know. I looked
I'm
up
one
Wes
of them.
Anderson numbers.
You're not behind this sort of
Wait.
movie.
Hello.
You don't like Wes Anderson?
No, I do, but the tone of it like reminds me of that just saccharine, like almost I almost got what's it called, Speed Racer vibes from it. It just
I
like
haven't watched the
Oh,
trailer.
interesting.
creeps me
Speed
out.
Racer.
I just really like
Not-
Wes
Wait,
Anderson.
just like visual
Asteroid
tone.
City?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. That one.
just the
I mean,
visual
I
tone
didn't
of it,
watch.
not
I
necessarily
didn't watch
anything
the trailer
else.
for
Oh,
it, so
okay.
I don't really know.
It gives me the same energy that Moonrise Kingdom had. I don't think it's going to be as good as Grand Budapest, but
I love Grand Budapest.
Grand Budapest to me is the
like-
top tier. Of
I-
Wes
That is the
Anderson.
top.
Grand
it is like the
Budapest is,
best.
Yeah.
That's my
I
favorite.
do like that movie.
It's like top. That's top 3.
And I love Wes Anderson.
Comedy.
I love all of his
Yeah.
movies.
I actually not recently, maybe within the last year, watched the Darjeeling Limited.
Oh yeah, we watched it together a couple
I
years
think
ago.
that one I did not expect to like as much, but I think it's my second favorite. of
Really?
his.
You
Yeah,
should do like
I really like
a
that one.
rewatching of a lot of these.
You should
Yeah.
watch Darjeeling Limited because it is very different than the rest of his movies. Also, very much still Wes Anderson.
Wait, did you say you like it more than Grand Budapest?
No, I like Grand Budapest first. That's my
That's
first
my number
favorite.
one.
I think
Yeah.
just because
mine
I think
too.
that's him at his most refined. Like this is
Yeah.
sort of exactly his image, his basically artistic flair.
Wait,
like,
do we all say Grand Budapest is number one?
Yeah.
yeah,
it is
I
number
think
one.
I think it's perfect.
So
Yeah.
I wish I had watched that at Alamo Drafthouse.
I know.
Let's just to wrap up the Wes Anderson and get to our number ones.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
want to say like if Asteroid City broke out in a big way and made the list, I would not be bothered at all.
Me neither.
I would love.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love
to
it.
see it. You look at Wes Anderson, the numbers he's done. They're always good enough, but never.
Yeah.
They're never going to be like
He's never
blockbuster
top
level.
10
No,
blockbuster.
but the thing is, I'm also okay if it doesn't because I don't think he's really gunning for box office hit.
No,
he's
he's
just
not.
doing.
I always want him to
What he
make
wants.
enough to do what he wants.
I
That's
have a
like all I-
question that I posed this to Irina, and I always wonder this: how does he get so many freaking names?
Because
I
he's
think he
People wanna
quality,
work with
dude.
him.
I think
They
they
wanna work
believe
with
in
him.
his work.
Yeah.
But I know, but it's crazy for a person who doesn't do like the crazy box office
Numbers aren't everything. It's more just
I
it's
know.
craft. It's craft.
And I know, I love that, but man,
can I say I'm not an actor, but
Yeah.
from their perspective, I guarantee you they have like a list of directors that they're like, I gotta.
Yeah.
If I'm in this movie, that'd be awesome. I can say
Yeah.
I worked with Wes
No,
Anderson.
that is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, Scarlett
And also-
Johansson has worked on small films too.
Yeah.
I'm sure Tom Hanks has. So
Yeah.
Think about how much clout you get after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
No, it's also-
Actors Guild
they
clout.
finally
Not
got
just-
Steve Carell in this one, by the
Yeah.
way.
Not just from that perspective, it's like think about it this way. You modeled for a famous artist like Picasso or whatever. You can say like, yeah, I modeled for Picasso. And that's the draw. It's more the director.
You
than
may not
it
get
is
the money out of it,
movie.
but the clout.
Yeah, there's a Wes Anderson, so now you already have this aspect of I worked with an artist, not just someone who was, chopping out movies to make box
Kind of like
office
Quentin
hits.
Tarantino.
I was
kind
gonna
of.
say Quentin Tarantino.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to our number ones here. This
Drum
is it.
roll.
Drum roll. AJ, what is your number one? Let's roll the drums.
So I've got Guardians here.
Guardians.
I almost put Mario, but I kind of brought it back because domestic. I think Guardians is going to. We've kind of alluded to it. Sweep up the broad strokes of. It's a catch-all Marvel. Even the people who are burnt out on MCU, Marvel superhero stuff, and I'm one of those people. I kind of checked out after Endgame.
I came back for No Way Home, but then was like, eh.
Yeah, I mean, Guardians has its own flair, its own flavor. Chris Pratt is likable. Gamora is back. Whatever Groot looks like now. And it's their swan song. It's their farewell to the Guardians, to this team, and people know that. So they're going to want to see them out and see how it wraps up, as well as James Gunn. But in particular, Guardians just has its own flavor to it, and it catches people.
Yep.
And it's reliable for the shaky ground that Marvel is at right now.
I think it's one of the few that exists successfully outside of Marvel.
It has weirdly enough become like a lot of the heart of Marvel too, with like both of its stories being very touching, and this like third one probably going to be touching.
Oh yeah, if not the most of them.
Yeah. Well, two, it's going to be kind of hard to top because Michael Rooker.
No, the third looks like it's ready to rip your heart out.
I know
I
it will.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Chris Pratt crying already, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah, and there's scenes where just the stuff with Rocket looks like it's going to be really tragic.
Yes.
The Drax looks like he's in some peril. Star-Lord looks like he's in some peril. I think a couple heads at least are going to roll in this.
Nebula is a fan favorite, and she seems like she has a good big role in this. So
I really like Nebula.
Nebula.
Man, Nebula
Nebula.
really has made her way up the ranks.
She's
I
had
think-
a good arc.
From the trailers, I think there is I'm kind of down for it, but I think there's a romantic angle between her and Star-Lord.
Really?
I think he's shifting course. And because Gamora is a different person in this new one.
Yeah. I think Nebula is very much a Prince Zuko type in this.
But
Yeah,
it seems very much in line with what James Gunn is, because he's all about the underdog, and Gamora's been this tortured character throughout all of it. So
poor Gamora.
and no,
Or you
not
mean-
Gamora,
mean
Nebula.
Nebula.
I meant Nebula.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nebula.
Well, both of them tortured, but
Yeah,
Yeah, even more Nebula though.
yeah, you're right.
yeah. Gamora not as much. Arena. Oh,
No.
sorry, David. What is your number one?
I'm going to echo the same sentiments. Let's go Guardians 3, baby.
All right.
I think if there's any franchise in the Marvel universe that I'm going to stake my bets on, it's going to be Guardians. I remember the hype for the first one. I remember where I saw it. I remember the weekend that I saw it. There's implants of it, and there's something about that franchise that sticks with me.
Yep.
I don't know why Noah's laughing, but
Said
it's,
implants for whatever reason.
there's nothing wrong with
the
that
Guardians
phrase.
gave you implants.
Yeah. What kind of implants, huh?
Double D's.
like the one Nebula has, like her arms and stuff.
I just think that there's something with this franchise that is above Marvel, that this is going to be, I know he said swan song, I'll use another phrase. It's going to be the finale. There we go.
Yeah.
I think that this is the movie of movies for Marvel, and if it doesn't land, Marvel is the Titanic here.
It's the last vestiges of a good ship.
Yep.
And I think this is going to be a good movie. I think it's going to be an amazing movie, and I think that it's going to draw in Marvel numbers and then bring in extra. So I just think it's the last big Marvel movie.
My thing with it is it can't fail.
No,
Yeah.
it can't.
Like
It cannot fail.
because Marvel's
I
in
agree.
kind of like they're in a precarious position here, and this is supposed to be the safety blanket that is like, okay, Marvel can still bring it, and I think you got to put a lot of faith in this and just hope for the best.
I'm so excited for this movie. The only Marvel movie that I have been excited for since Endgame. And there's a little excitement I had for, Spider-Man No Way Home. There's a little bit of excitement for
I think
Doctor Strange 2.
I think
but
we're
this
selling
one-
short No Way Home. That movie was huge.
I know. And I had faith.
Yeah,
Yeah, for me, for some reason, like No Way Home, like stands out apart from MCU because it's,
I agree.
The collaboration. It's like this Sony, like older Spider-Man vibe. So I
Yeah.
kind of have that on its own shelf.
Yeah.
and I
No
love
Way
that
Home
movie,
is kind of like
absolutely.
cheating because they got Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Andrew Garfield.
And Andrew
But I'm
Garfield.
more hyped for this movie than I was for No Way Home. And I know I might be alone in that, but I am a huge Guardian stan. So
Me too.
Irina, what's your number one? Is this
Alright,
the
guys.
you about to?
this is it, guys.
This is the
is
weird
gonna
one.
be controversial.
Any bets? Any bets? Side bets?
No.
I think
She
I,
just
know. I
wants to
think I
say it.
know.
I put Barbie.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did you get it, Reese? Did you know?
Well, once she said that it was like I'm about to drop something on y'all, and I realized she hadn't said Barbie yet, and apparently she had said nice things about Barbie to you. I was like, okay.
You're like, okay, I think I know what it is.
Putting
So
two and
I'm-
two together.
The thing is, like, this game is no fun unless you put some risk in it.
yeah,
And I have a good feeling about Barbie. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't care. I'm gonna put my faith in the fact that so many girls played with Barbies growing up for so long that I feel like this movie is going to have a lot of very intimate details that will resonate with that crowd. The fact that Greta Gerwig is behind it, and there has been
you get
a weird
the Notebook fans from Ryan Gosling.
No, yeah, but there's been a weird sort of caginess about what the plot is
Yeah,
for something that should be so simple. So I think there's something being hidden about it that is going to knock people in a way they didn't expect.
I think it's
Well,
gonna
what's
be.
it
I
rated?
think it's gonna be subversive.
Yeah.
in a way.
So
What's it rated?
Yeah.
Probably
it's PG-13.
Okay.
So the thing is, I think there's going to be an X factor with this one that nobody
the word of the
really
night.
expects,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm putting a lot of faith in it. Whether that hits big or not, I don't know. But
So it's not going to be Legally Blonde.
yeah. So I don't think it's going to be what people expect it to be. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who say, "Oh, you actually need to watch this because it's not just a girls' movie." So
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's what I'm feeling from it. So that's why I put it here.
I love the boldness. Some of us put it on our top 10, so that's something.
I think it's in everyone's dark horse at least.
I think what we
no,
can.
I don't have it
five of
anywhere.
us.
I honestly don't care if people like put it low. I get it.
I
But
feel so-
I don't care.
I feel so validated in one of the perks being the Barbie or Bombshells.
Yeah, exactly.
That's gonna be a huge
I have
weekend
no
Yeah.
of
idea.
like what's gonna happen.
Oh, I get it now. Like blonde bombshells.
Yeah. Yep. I'm just.
Clever.
Yeah, I want Barbie to do really well and be really good. I'll just say that. Next up, Noah, number 1.
My number one is Flash.
Oh, come on.
All right.
Yeah.
Reese, did you also? No, I'll wait.
No, I already played Flash.
Okay, I couldn't.
I think y'all are underestimating Flash.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I
I agree. I think you are.
Like
I know because
Like-
most of us didn't put it at all.
Yeah.
No, I know. I think that's an oversight.
No, it wasn't. I am fully
Noah,
aware that it could
I
be a
will
top
also
10
say-
movie. I
Noah,
specifically
yes.
left it
No,
out.
I will also say I think you're too high.
Hey,
Like-
well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Wait, you're saying DC over Marvel this year?
Yeah,
Whoa.
I think it will, because I think this is like DC's chance, and I think all that bad press is good press.
Ezra Miller is a
just
wife
like
beater.
just like the Little Mermaid. No,
I think
he's not. He's actually a child abuser.
He had physically abused an adult woman
Oh, well,
yeah, he like hurt someone.
Okay.
and
threatened
and then
a man.
But it's
kidnapped
whatever.
a child
And then threatened a
people
man.
hostage.
and is grooming.
Yes,
her.
he has a whole lot of bad things.
But here's the thing. You know how many people know about that?
A lot.
Everybody knows about it. They're gonna watch the movie because they're curious.
You're not wrong.
So they all look at each other and kind
Kill
of shrug
Johnny
their
Depp.
shoulders, like, oh, oh.
It's not. They don't.
No,
they-
everyone's
Michael
gonna say,
Keaton,
"I'm
though.
not here for. I'm not here for Ezra. I'm here for Michael Keaton."
Exactly.
Even though
They're
there's
there
like
for.
he's
it-
duplicated and there's like 5 Ezra Millers in every scene.
I think everyone's gonna watch it.
If this doesn't make the top 10, can we agree as a group that Noah will take over the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor throne?
This is not that big of an.
No, I don't think that he's wrong.
Fine.
I honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a number
not
one.
No,
that
I'm
big
just
of
saying
an L.
if you put it number 1, it doesn't make the top 12.
No, I will say the only reason I didn't put Flash on my list was out of principle.
Same.
And so
Yeah.
I do think it could be
I
really,
agree.
really good. Yeah.
If I was honest, I'd put it in my top 8.
yeah.
Okay.
If I had faith in humanity,
Well,
No.
I'm a horrible
So-
person, so I put it on my list.
So no. It's
I'm
it's
I'm
not
joking.
yeah.
I'm joking.
But it's not about that. It's just I think because I went with my gut, I just was like, I don't want to put it
Yeah.
on here. So I'm glad you did because I don't know.
It's logic, not
it makes
heart.
sense.
I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I think I'm reading the hype on the wall.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. Because I
My-
think there are a lot of people that are excited
think-
to see these Batmans come into
I
play.
think. Yeah, I think it's gonna be just no one had faith in DC, and they're waiting to see whether this is good or bad.
Yeah.
Guys.
And I think it's gonna be good, and I think everyone's gonna talk about how good it is.
yeah.
Can we agree
Yeah.
that Noah's either going to win this by a landslide or
Or
is going
lose.
to tank?
Well, it's hard for me to gauge, like, from a comic book, fan or, amateur fan, like I know the Flashpoint storyline. It is a massive story point.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the equivalent to Infinity War almost. It's that level of story in the comics. And so that's why I see this movie as having so much potential, but I don't know if the general audience knows that.
Yeah.
But then again, if you're already seeing multiple Batmans on screen, if we get to see a Damian Wayne, or not Damian, if Bruce Wayne's father, whatever, terrible.
I don't know
I
his
don't
name.
remember.
Oh,
Clearly,
Thomas
I'm not
Wayne.
a good DC fan.
Yes.
Thomas Wayne.
If we get to
job,
see him stab
Nice.
Reverse Flash in the back, full on with a
Dude.
sword, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Imagine.
Yeah,
Won't
And
have
imagine all the people that are imagining.
won't have to for much longer.
I think it's gonna be big.
When's it come out again? August or something? Or not
June,
April?
like June or July, somewhere.
I hope
somewhere in
it's
there.
June
July.
Not
16th.
April. It's April. When?
June 16th.
June 16th.
June 16th.
So what you're saying is middle of summer.
Yep.
Damn
well, technically the beginning of summer, because summer begins
Compared to our list start.
Summer begins like
in
for-
June, early June.
Okay,
June is the
We're starting in April on
Okay.
our list, though.
think about it this way. School's out at like the end of
Early June.
Hey, that was my argument for Spider-Man.
yep.
yeah, at like the early June or late May. That's when school gets out and everyone's going to be going
To
places.
Spider-Man,
Maybe.
What?
and then the Flash.
Into the Spider-Verse.
I think all the people getting out of school in like high school are going to go see the Flash. Like
All right,
that's what I think.
Noah's number one, the Flash. I don't entirely disagree. I think there's a chance this does really well. My number
And I
one.
will hate society if it is.
My number one is also Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Hey,
But
I hope so.
I am increasingly like skeptical about this as my number one.
yeah.
I just think it's on shaky ground. I'm just kind of seeing
too.
the writing on the wall for Marvel at this point.
Same.
But I'm also feeling like this is I'm not saying
Last hurrah.
That's
yeah,
what I
the last
said. That's
hurrah.
what I was saying.
Exactly.
Well, it's both of those. Yeah.
Like this is the one here's how I would see it. If the opening movie for the summer was Ant-Man Quantumania, I'd be like, no way. Like they always put a lot of I think Marvel is almost always defined by their opening May summer release, and they put their best foot forward on that date. And I think they know they have their best foot forward with this Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It's also, we've talked about how it exists outside of the like it's something that can perform really well despite all the noise going around it with Marvel. I think Guardians of the Galaxy with James Gunn's unique footprint or identity on it gives it its own breath of life. And also we've talked about the fact that this is clearly being set up as the last one. Not necessarily like the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but the last one with this team.
Right.
Like maybe some carryover to something. But I think like this is the swan song. We've said it already. And I think usually when that is highly evident in the marketing, that brings in audiences. And they like this group of people. And I do think we all kind of want to see what happens with Gamora, Nebula, and like what was the result of that. And we've got Adam Warlock in there, which we haven't talked about.
Wait, what?
Adam
Yeah.
Warlock is one of the biggest names in the Marvel franchise, and,
And-
we have
yeah.
not even
And
seen him.
Guess what?
You have?
I know, but not really.
Guess
Yeah.
what? As much as I love Guardians of the Galaxy, this is like the wrong place for Adam Warlock.
It
to
is.
appear.
I agree. It
But he's
should have
it.
been in Endgame.
He's gonna. I
Yeah.
think this
He should have
movie.
been in Infinity War.
I think this movie's gonna make a lot of money. However, I think this is Mario's year. Like that's my feeling. Is
I
just
get
like
I get a
Yeah.
Marvel
tingling
or
in
Nintendo?
all sorts of places that you're right.
yeah,
But is it domestic or is it worldwide?
Yeah,
the
that's a
question.
big thing.
yeah. I don't know.
Good question.
I don't know. I'm just feeling less confident. But Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I still think it brings in the numbers, even if I feel like Marvel is in a bit of a
Yeah.
pinch.
What's your number?
right now? My number for Guardians is a flat 400 million.
This is a
Yeah.
low top 10 for you.
No, so here's the thing. Low, like no
400 for number one.
mega highs, but there are so many that hit that 300 million, which is rare. Like usually you only get 2 or 3 that are able to hit that mark. This year I see like 5 or 6.
You don't think any are going to hit the 700 range?
They could break out. I'm just not willing to make that bet.
That's fair.
You know, I want them to.
You're not going to bet on 12. I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm just looking at the Guardians of the Galaxy trajectory. The first one did 330 million. The second one did 380. This one will probably do a little bit more because it's the finale, so 400. Like that's like what I'm looking at.
yeah.
I get it.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy, this Volume 3, is going to be like around the same area as the previous two, with like within that ballpark. Because I think a lot of people petered out from Marvel, but they're also thinking the last like one that they're giving a chance. So I think that kind of evens out into a regular Guardians amount.
Agree. So that sums up our top 10s. We're finally at the end here, and thus we come back around to David's perk. Are you going to be utilizing your perk in
Phone a
this
friend.
instance? Are you going to swap one of your top 10s for one of your dark horses?
Let me look at my dark horse. I'm not.
Dark horse.
Let me look at my dark horse.
Your Dark Horse.
I really don't want to.
You're going to keep? You're going to say,
Well,
what
hold
are
on.
your dark horses? Again, remind me.
The machine,
That is a Dark Horse.
elemental,
Okay.
chevalier.
Chevalier. I think only one of those has a chance
Elemental,
of being
I
in the top
know.
10.
Yeah.
But compared to what I have on the list, I think I have all the right
What's your
ones.
lowest 10? Like, what's your 10?
Oppenheimer,
Oppenheimer. What's above that?
Spider-Man, then Barbie. I don't.
Yeah.
Barbie is the X factor. I know we've said that a lot today, but that could either sink or swim, and I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna
A
swim.
mermaid.
But
pretty
AJ,
sure
if
that's
you're
just the
up for it, I will swap with you.
Just kidding.
Who he's willing to swap.
I
Putting the
appreciate
swap on the
that.
table.
I'm just
But
saying
if any-
because I do want to get that potential extra 1 point. This is just going to go in the garbage.
Exactly. But it could end up benefiting AJ if he. Had
I know it will.
oversight
That's why I'm
with-
offering it. Otherwise, I'm confident. I like my list. I'm pretty happy with my top 13 or whatever.
Yep. All right. Some careful consideration.
Let's
from
let him
AJ.
think.
Let's see.
I think the smart thing to do would take out Renfield and swap it for Little Mermaid. But I'm gonna play it fast and loose. We'll see. We'll have some fun here.
All right, so you're not taking it.
that's
All right.
fun.
Let the
Yeah.
cards fall where they may. I like it.
Gosh, we really did have a scattered.
Watch me win,
Hold on,
guys.
I'm just saying,
Collection.
I'm the only one who
Watch
basically
watch
didn't
Renfield be the number.
I know.
What if
Not gonna happen.
what if I get it like straight across the board?
I think that's impossible.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's impossible for any one of us to get it directly right.
Yeah.
get. I'm pretty confident. I'm just saying,
I am
I'm
not
the only
confident,
one
by
who
the way.
doesn't get an extra perk because I'm substituting
You
mine.
picked that one. You could have picked mine.
I had two options.
You
Not
could have picked
good.
mine,
You could have had faith in your own.
which gives you more of a
Choice.
guarantee at a point.
What is it?
I need a hero. The if you predict the number 1 slot correctly, you receive an additional point.
Yeah, but that what I saw that as compared to the two was that I get 3 versus 1. This
That's
one
the
gives-
risk of the perks.
which is why I did it, but no one convinced me.
Yep.
And I only am reassured, so that would have been better, but I didn't
Elemental
know
is
that.
Pixar and
Let me
Disney.
look at my dark horse.
I
I
don't
might
think
be
so.
willing to trade with you. Just give me a second. Let me look at my dark horses here and remind myself. I had Elemental, Transformers, and Haunted Mansion in my dark horses. Oppenheimer across the
What
Spider-Verse,
is like the
Fast X.
We got
lowest?
two potential ones.
What's the lowest amount of money on a Pixar title?
Probably okay, it
Soul?
was no, it was it
Probably
was
Soul.
Is Soul Disney?
no,
Pixar,
no,
or-
Pixar.
I'm about to
It was
tell you.
Pixar.
It was that fantasy movie.
Oh,
the brother one?
Yeah, with Tom
But that's
Holland.
because it got cut short because
Yeah.
of COVID.
Wait.
Like they literally closed
And
theaters.
how much did it make?
Like 80 something.
Was that
80 million?
Onward?
Onward, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But only because of COVID.
What
Like,
did
they
Soul
literally
make, though?
shut down
What did Soul make?
nothing because it came out on Disney Plus. That doesn't
Then
count.
Noah was correct.
No, that doesn't count. No, if
okay,
it didn't have a single box office.
theatrical release.
Yes.
Okay. Other
If you
than
go
that one-
next up, it's like It's like Bugs Life, not Bugs Life. It's like a
Like in recent memory.
it's like a good
Don't you
dinosaur
dare
or
besmirch
Lightyear.
Bugs Life.
Okay, good dinosaur I think is a good example.
Good Dinosaur
How
and
much did
Lightyear
that
both
do?
did around 120, 130 million.
130.
That's still
So-
pretty good.
And I think it's going to do better than both of those.
But what am I going to swap it with?
No, I'm not trading. I'm
I'm just saying, I'm looking at my top 10. I don't know what I would swap it with other than
Yeah.
Barbie, and I'm not swapping it with Barbie.
All right.
It's all, I think you're stuck with it, unfortunately.
I know, I'm stuck. That's why I wanted to swap with AJ, because then I could at least, he could get something out of it. I could get something
Don't
out
guilt
of it.
him into doing it.
No, I won't.
All right. This is our top 10 predictions with 3 dark horses. We've come to the end. Some of us have 2 dark horses. Some of us have 4. Noah being 4, Arena 2 because of those perks.
You know what I just realized?
what?
If we both get the number 1 right, you get 1 more point than me.
Uh,
I have to beat you by more than 1.
How angry would you be if I won and
By
beat
1
you by
point.
1 point?
I'd be very mad.
All right. That is our top 10. Those are our predictions.
I'm going to have to wait so long to like.
What I love about this, though, is there's not going to be any ties. These are going to be wildly different results on everyone's scorecards here, and I'm excited for that. Do we have any final notes on the upcoming summer plus spring releases, or are we good to close this one out?
Yeah, so if you guys can send me your $100 buy-ins, that'd be awesome.
Oh, we actually
Okay, cool, yeah.
we didn't specify this at the beginning. What does the winner get?
A happy ending.
To be determined. The
No.
winner will get something on the level of what I received from you guys.
No,
though,
it's
that-
going to be the same thing. Just say it.
Okay. The winner will get either a Steelbook or Criterion Blu-ray, something more premium than your typical Blu-ray release. Something nice to put on your wall that is a movie release or put in your collection, I would say is a fair prize.
And as the person who won last year, what did you receive last time?
Army of Darkness, the Steelbook, and I love it dearly. It is on display in my Blu-ray cabinet. And
There we go.
Awesome art. Really cool. I think it's I don't know, is it Shout Factory? I don't know if it's by Shout Factory, but they release a lot of boutique Blu-ray re-releases. So loved that gift. Can't wait for my next gift this year. Just kidding.
I believe in Noah this year, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
I truly do.
Okay. Well, may the best picker predictor win. So
Because I'm still getting my 5 points for or not 5 points. How many points if they reach the top 10?
3
you get
points.
10 if
3
you
points.
predict the 10 correct.
No. If it makes the top 10, but you're nowhere close, it's 3 points.
Yeah.
2 points.
Is it 2 points?
2 points if
Okay.
it's on the list.
I'm getting a lot of 2-pointers.
Yeah.
You're missing Little Mermaid, though.
True.
It's you know,
That's the big fish you're missing.
Say if Flash gets number
Huh?
1, you get negative 5 points for poor moral judgment.
Noah David's trying to trade Noah.
Come on, Noah. Come on, buddy. I
you
believe
want
in
an
you.
additional dark horse?
Yes.
I need to look at my list to
Wow,
see
we're
what I
having
Hold
some
on.
late,
Hold on.
late
You can edit this
negotiations
later.
here.
You can edit this
I'm not going to
later.
edit it.
All
This
right.
is going to be an untouched. Like, who cares? Like, I'm listing this as bonus.
No, I already
episode.
know what my extra will be if I get it.
Okay,
I don't even have to look in the list.
it's just going to get you 1
I
point. though.
honestly think, Noah, this is going to give us both 1 point if we do this.
Yeah, I
So
think
Noah
so
wants
too.
to swap in. Guys, just make up your minds. Just
He's
do-
the one.
I'm thinking.
Give him a
I'm
second. Give him
I'm
a
trying
second.
to. I'm trying to decide what I would
David's
change.
desperate here. He's like,
I have nothing with this right now. But he also is missing 1 point.
yeah. Just we don't want too much dead air here.
You're
so
gonna edit it.
I'm not.
I will get on.
I'm
you.
not.
Come on, Noah. I believe in you. I think you're gonna win regardless. Come on.
I think I want to stick. with
No,
my guns.
please give me 1 point.
I think I'm gonna stick with my
David.
guns.
Damn it.
David's going to be 1 point away from winning this.
It could be more fun if you did do the trade.
Okay,
though.
how funny will it be later
Hold
on?
on.
Think of the content.
Hold on. Let me pitch something to you. Or let it happen, Reese.
Okay, I'm letting it happen.
All right. I just think that if you're gonna win, Noah,
Yeah.
you've already won. I don't think
Hey.
1 point is gonna do it. If you lose, you're
Okay,
already in the back.
What are we?
1
what
point's
are we-
not gonna
Noah,
make a difference
Noah, what
for
are we?
you.
What are we concerned that he doesn't have? Little Mermaid on his list?
Little
no,
Mermaid.
no.
For me.
Yeah, for him.
For me, yeah.
He
Noah-
will put that in his top, and if he gets it, he'll get at least 1 point.
Noah,
2
Noah,
points.
Noah.
You know what I have to
Noah,
trade out? If I have to trade something out, I have to trade out Spider-Man, and I don't want to trade out Spider-Man.
Wait. What is your top 10?
So
Look, to be honest, number-wise, I think that would be a smart move.
No, that would not be smart.
Spider-Man for Little Mermaid?
Okay, Noah, you've got.
yeah, but I can't do that in like my heart.
Principle.
Yeah.
Is she not? Is Little Mermaid? It's a dark horse on yours, right?
Yes, it's a dark horse. Because if you just look at my list, right?
Take out
Like I could take Elemental out,
Yes,
but
take
I think
Elemental.
I think Elemental is going to make more money than Spider-Man.
Noah. No, I will not advise. We have to
Advise.
No. This is all on our own. We have
Yeah.
to make our own decisions. I do not want to influence the.
I got screwed- I got screwed with
there are
this.
some in here that I might shift about. I mean, I might even swap Oppenheimer with the Little Mermaid,
Hold on.
but I still don't want to do that.
I just want to say one last thing. The reason I'm saying this is because you've already won or lost by a mile.
Yeah, I'm okay with
This
losing.
chance will not change that. You will have already won by a lot. You're doing this for me.
but
You've already
case,
either
no.
won by like 20 points or lost by 50.
Should swap the Flash. And
I have a
Imagine-
chance.
Yeah. The Flash.
imagine the content if you lose by 1 point.
If I lose by 1 point, this will be the worst feeling ever.
Okay.
I think I already
need
know the answer.
I need a decision. In,
I think we know
in
the answer.
3.
wait,
two.
wait.
He's considering it.
Give him a 5. Count down from 5.
5, 4, 3.
I'll do it.
What? All right.
I did it.
I'll do it. This is
Yes,
for you.
sir.
This is not for me.
I know it is. This is more
Good-
for me.
This is good audio. Noah.
I'm going to change, and it hurts my soul, The Little Mermaid and
Spider-Man.
Oppenheimer.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that does hurt.
Doesn't it?
It hurts.
Doesn't
Are
it?
you proud of your victory?
Actually, no.
David?
I take it back. I'm going to change it with Elemental because my heart.
Elemental.
Yeah.
I think that's,
changed
that's
with my
the
heart.
right. That's the right move.
Even though I think Elemental would make more money than Spider-Man, I just can't take Spider-Man out, and I can't take
Again,
Oppenheimer
if you're
out.
gonna win, no, it's because of your top list, not your bottom list.
Noah, I think you made a amazing choice. Like
I think so too.
Yeah. David, now what are you doing? What are you
I
putting
get an
in?
additional dark horse. I'm putting in Renfield.
All right. I don't know how much that
Dang,
helped you.
love for Renfield.
I love the support for Renfield on this
I
episode.
do too.
It's
Hey,
great.
Irina,
That
you want
means
to
I
trade
lose
perks?
My fourth, though. Well, what did I put?
Oh yeah, what was your fourth?
Well, I've got Blue Beetle, I've got Teenage Mutant, I've got Barbie, and I've got
You added Barbie, so Barbie's out.
Mermaid. Yeah,
Barbie's out.
yeah. Sorry, Barbie.
Actually,
love
that's actually
for
kind of rough.
Renfield.
Actually,
It's just 1 point,
Look,
though, is the thing.
I respect anyone's opinion on that. I don't think it's gonna make a ton of money.
that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
All right. Let's close
I won't be
this one
surprised
out.
if it does, but
Lots of many interesting ways that the box office could go this summer. I'm excited to see where all the chips fall. Any final words, guys? Yep, perfect. And you'll see the follow up to this episode around this September times when all the numbers are wrapped up. That'll happen around Labor Day. I think it's the 4th of September. That's when we will freeze the box office numbers where they're at, even if the movies are not done playing. That's the hard cutoff here. So tune back in then if you don't enjoy our main feed episodes, but you should because those are great. That's the reason we have this podcast. But yeah, tune back in September 4th for the results to this wager. So we'll see y'all. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe. Rate us 5 stars on Apple. That's awesome.